Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Sagar and today we will do 50 most important current affairs international relation part 1 for UPSC CSE Civil Services examination scheduled in May 2026. So I have already uploaded first part of economy, polity, environment, science and tech. So yeah, watch them. That will help you because you will understand and we're doing these important topics along with PYQs and MCQs to give you an idea that yes, where are like from where UPSC are is framing questions and what are the things which are actually important from exam perspective. Shubh, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is a snapshot of my LinkedIn profile, and you can join this Telegram channel where I do Hindu analysis every day, Monday to Saturday rather. I try to upload it by 9 a.m. But before 10 a.m. the video is uploaded, and I share the unannotated Hindu analysis PDF in this Telegram channel by 9 p.m. So that will help you in being disciplined when it comes to going through current affairs and all. So yeah, you can join this Telegram channel if you want to. Let's start the discussion of 50 most important current affairs international relation part 1. First article, first most important current affairs, 12th June 2025. So here, World Bank is cutting India's fiscal year 26 growth forecast. Here basically they're talking about 25-26. Now one thing, see, understand one thing. From UPSC perspective, the 6.3, 6.7%, that is not important. What are the things which are important? First of all, conceptually you should know fiscal year 25-26 means the year which is starting from 1st April 25 ending on 31st March 26. So this thing should be known to you. In that regard, they're giving some forecast. What is important from exam perspective? World Bank and World Bank Group, how they are different from each other. World Bank, they comprises of two organization or like two IB and I. Oh my God, just give me a second, guys. So what we are discussing here is there are two terms, World Bank and World Bank Group, and so World Bank is two organization, International Development Association and IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. On the other hand, World Bank Group comprises of World Bank plus three more organizations. MEGA is there, ICSID is there, and one another organization is there. We'll talk about all these numbers. What is important from exam perspective? This thing. World Bank is not equal to World Bank Group. They are different. Most of the people, they feel like they are the same. No, they are not. So World Bank Group came into picture in this Bretton Woods conference, which was talking about the new economic order which will be there after World War II. So 1944, IMF came, along with that World Bank came. And basically the purpose of World Bank is to help developing countries, reduce global poverty, promote shared prosperity in developing nations. This is World Bank, not World Bank Group. World Bank Group will also look into private sector and all. Headquarter, Washington, DC, of both World Bank as well as World Bank Group. Please pay attention, guys. These are the things which are actually important. So World Bank, IBRD and IDA. International Development Association and International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. If you see the objective of both these organizations, lends to middle income and credit worthy low income countries. IDA provides interest free loans and grants to poorest countries. So basically the focus is on developing and underdeveloped countries. On the other hand, when you will see World Bank Group, they will comprise of these two organizations plus these two we have already discussed plus three more. IFC, MEGA and ICSID. So World Bank Group is a bigger, if you want to make a Venn diagram. So this is WB Group, World Bank Group, and World Bank will be a part of it, and then the three other institutions. Hope you're understanding. WB will be here. So MEGA, IFC, ICSID, this is not part of, these are not part of World Bank. International Finance Corporation supports private sector development. MEGA provides political risk insurance. If something happens in some African countries where some lenders have invested, so MEGA provides guarantee. Don't worry, we will ensure that you are getting your money back. ICSID, International Center for, as the name suggests, settlement of investment dispute, they do it. Not signed by all countries. India is not a member of ICSID. So what is important here? World Bank not equals to World Bank Group. Headquarters same. World Bank Group bigger entity, and World Bank is a subset of World Bank Group. World Bank Group 5 organizations, institutions. World Bank 2 institutions. So, and World Bank basic focus is on private sector. World Bank Group, they're also including private. World Bank basic focus is on developing and underdeveloped countries and the poorer people. On the other hand, World Bank Group also focuses on private sector. So remember these facts and figures. And then they publish some reports on which UPSC has already asked questions. See this Global Economic Prospects report. In this, they are talking about this. Now, this is published by World Bank, right? And this is published biannually. Please remember, guys, there are terms which are important. One is annual, every year. Then there is biennial. Biannual is not equal to biennial. Biannual means twice in a year. And biennial means once in 2 years. So this is a biannual report, global economic prospects. June 20, they publish it in June and then they publish it in January as well. So these are the things which are important from exam perspective. Rest all, how much prediction they're doing for India, cutting growth forecast, that will keep on happening. Different entities will come and they will give growth projection. That is not that important from UPSC perspective, but yes, the report who publishes it, difference between World Bank Group, all these things are not only important, they are very important. They are not only very important, they are very important with an L. Oh my god. Look at that. Okay. So yes, sir. You can have a look at this. You can read it in your free time. Key differences, World Bank Group. We have discussed it. Public sector development, focus on developing countries, World Bank Group, both public and private sector support. You can see all these. We have discussed this, so I'm not reading these slides. That's for you people to do. This is a PYQ asked by UPSC already. Global economic prospects, who releases it? The answer is World Bank. How many times? Twice in a year. Biannual, not biennial. January and June. Remember these facts and figures, important. Next article, second article, 24th June 2025. No headway. We'll talk about all these things. No headway in India ASEAN trade deal review despite 9 meetings in last 1 year. So ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So earlier we used to talk about the mnemonic of ASEAN as BPLTV mimics. Brunei, Philippines, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia, and Singapore. Remember this particular mnemonic of ASEAN. And now there is an 11th country which has joined, which is known as Timor-Leste or East Timor. So remember this. And whenever you want to cross-check, like on BRICS also, there are so many debates and doubts. We'll talk about BRICS. Here also, you go to official website. Don't even believe on Wikipedia and all. So if you go to ASEAN official website, you will realize that yes, Timor-Leste is the 11th member. You have other countries, 10 countries, total 11. Timor-Leste, also known as East Timor. UPSC has already asked multiple PYQs on them, so you have to keep it in mind. 11 countries, not 10 now. And India-ASEAN FTA was signed in 2009, operationalized in 2010. We are not very happy with that particular FTA, which was signed in 2009 because we are exporting, we are importing more from ASEAN than what we are exporting to them. And what we have also realized it, what is happening is they are bringing cheap raw materials from China and then converting it into finished goods and selling it to India. So in a way, maybe China is selling their goods to us via ASEAN countries. So we have raised our concern with ASEAN that guys, we're not happy with this AITIGA, which is basically India ASEAN FTA. They can even ask you, AITIGA is associated with what? ASEAN, India ASEAN relationship, India ASEAN FTA. So we are having meetings. We're not very happy with how things have gone in the last 15 years. As we have discussed, AITIGA talks in 2009, operationalized from 2010. Remember these facts. Exports to ASEAN doubled, import has tripled. So again, that is leading to trade deficit. Nobody will like it. So trade imbalances prompting India to press for a review. And we have also seen some issues. This issue we have discussed, that some ASEAN countries importing highly subsidized raw materials from China and then re-exporting the final products to India. So we are feeling like in a way China is selling their goods to us via ASEAN countries. But ASEAN is not making any changes. Let's wait and watch how things pan out in the future. This is one PYQ which we have to, there were other PYQs also. I removed them because now according to the current answer, Timor-Leste will also be part of the members of ASEAN. Earlier when they have asked it, at that time Timor-Leste was not a part of ASEAN. So remember these facts and figures. They are really important. How important? Really, really, really important, which is not a part of member of ASEAN. So we have discussed, remember the mnemonic, BPL TV mimics. Brunei, Philippines, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia, Singapore. So Bangladesh is not a member. C is the answer. Really, 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 really. Third article, published on 20th June 2025, India rejects supplemental award in Kishan Ganga Ratle hydropower projects. This is related to Indus Water Treaty. Indus Water Treaty. IWT, brokered between India and Pakistan in 1960 by World Bank, which was acting as a third party. Pakistani head was Ayub Khan from India, Jawaharlal Nehru sir, and then they talked about how water will be shared. Ravi, Vyas and Satluj, most of the water will be used by India. On the other hand, the other tributaries, Jhelum, Chenab and Indus, most of the water of that will be used by Pakistan, but we are saying most. It's not like we cannot use the water of these Jhelum, Chenab and Indus at all. We can make a run of the river projects and all those stuff. We'll talk about it. So first of all, before we talk about all these issues, let's talk about the basic things. So Kishan Ganga project and Ratle project, these are the projects which are in news, which you have to keep in mind. Ratle project on Chenab River, Kishan Ganga project on one tributary of Jhelum, which is actually Kishan Ganga. So if we and first of all, let's have a look at this, and then we'll talk about what is the issue. Kishan Ganga River, Neelam River, it is known as in Pakistan. In our time, when you people were not born, there was an actress Neelam, there was an actor Govinda. Guys. So it is in Bandipora district, Jammu and Kashmir. Key feature, it is run of the river project. What happens in run of the river project? Unlike big hydroelectric projects, they don't change the course of the river much. They store, they don't make big dams, and there is not much change in the topography of the river, so to say, run of the river project. So we are not doing anything much on Kishan Ganga River, which will join Jhelum River, one tributary of Jhelum. And why Pakistan is having issue? Because they are the ones who will be using maximum river of Jhelum River, like maximum water of Jhelum River rather. But we have discussed maximum does not mean all. It does not mean we cannot do anything. We can do stuff. But then the question of upstream and downstream arises. We are at the upstream region. We can divert the flow, like China, Brahmaputra. China is at the upstream region. They can divert the flow of Brahmaputra, thereby ensuring how much water is coming to India. Brahmaputra's water. Yarlung Zangpo. Same grievances Pakistan have with us when it comes to Kishan Ganga and Ratli project. So Kishan Ganga, tributary of Jhelum. Remember it. Neelam River. Neelam. So Kishan Ganga. And you see it joins Jhelum at which place? Pakistan administered Kashmir, which they Pakistan occupied Kashmir, we call it. So this is Kishan Ganga. Ratle is on Chenab River. Chenab River, Keystone district, 850 megawatt capacity, one of the largest in the Chenab region. Run of the river project. Again, we are not changing the flow of water much. We are not changing the river topography much. We are not making big dams here. Not big dams, small dam, not big dam. But again, Pakistan is angry because most of the water of Chenab, who will be using it? Pakistan. So there are disputes, there has been talks. We are not very happy with this court of arbitration which has been created by World Bank. So we don't, we are like, no, this is a third party. We don't want any third party. We will resolve issues between ourselves, India and Pakistan. And like Pakistan, whenever they face such issues, they cry and they go to World Bank, and World Bank creates these organizations. We'll talk about court of arbitration first of all, other things. Indus Water Treaty brokered in 1960. So India, like Pakistan, they have major access over these rivers, Chenab, Jhelum, and Indus. India has limited rights. Remember, it's not like India does not have right. They have certain rights. They can do irrigation, certain portion, run of the river plants, which we have made, which Kishan Ganga and Ratle, very limited storage. Most of the water will be used by Pakistan. Satluj, Vyas, and Ravi, most of the river water will be used by us. So remember these facts; they're important. Chenab, Jhelum, Indus. Most of the people feel like everything associated with that belongs to Pakistan. No, we can do certain stuff. That is the thing which you have to keep in mind. Now let's focus on what is the issue. So, because there are some issues, Pakistan is finding some issue with Kishan Ganga and Ratle, although we are not changing the top flow of the river much, we are not doing anything. So, what has happened because of the hue and cry, court of arbitration was created by World Bank. And India is like, no, no, no. We reject any award given by court of arbitration, and we don't recognize this court of arbitration created by World Bank. And this is a serious breach to Indus Water Treaty. Any issue which has to be tackled by us. Currently, Indus Water Treaty is in abeyance. Abeyance means temporary suspension. It's not like we have suspended it for eternity. We have suspended it for the time being. Pakistan has objected to the design of this Kishan Ganga and Ratle projects. They're like, it will divert the water, we will face issues, and then they approached World Bank in 2016 because World Bank acted as mediator between us, India and Pakistan, in 1960 when Indus Water Treaty was signed to establish court of arbitration, and then court of arbitration was established. India stand on unilateral action. India is like, why you cry and go to third party? Let's resolve issue between us, man. Ministry emphasized that again, our ministry, that India is a sovereign nation. We are not bound to honor the treaty while it is in suspension, and at the same time we cannot just keep on honoring treaty and you keep on doing terrorism. It doesn't work like that. And what is COA, court of arbitration? Mechanism established under annexure G of IWT of 1960 to resolve serious disputes. And who has acted as, like, who is establishing it? World Bank is playing a mediator role here. Not a permanent body, constituted when needed, typically at Pakistan request, with the involvement of third party like World Bank, which helped broker the original treaty. So do remember, court of arbitration created under the annexure G of the IWT. There's one other provision: no country can unilaterally suspend this treaty. We have done that. So again, it's not like, but again, we had our own reason why we put it in abeyance. It's not like it's a permanent suspension; it's a temporary suspension until, you know, by the time, like, if Pakistan let go of this terror related activities, we will remove this abeyance. So again, Kishan Ganga, remember, where is Kishan Ganga? And Kishan Ganga is a tributary of which river? Jhelum River. Ratle, built on Chenab River. All these facts are important. What is run of the river project? How it is different from big dams, mega dams? Kishanganga, objection raised in 2010, arbitration in 2013, India allowed to proceed, operational. Ratle, dispute since 2013, Pakistan sought court of arbitration. So all these things are happening. Cool, cool, cool. Not cool, but again, let's see how things pan out. Very important from exam perspective, guys. Court of arbitration related to Indus Water Treaty was established under the auspices of which organization? The answer is World Bank. World Bank is in news time and again, guys. See. Under the Indus Water Treaty, which of the following rivers are majorly allocated for use by India? Ravi, Vyas, Satluj. You can pause the video right now and you can try to solve these questions. At the end, once we are done with this, you can tell me in the comment section, how many questions you got correct out of total questions. Which of the following correctly describes India's stance on Court of Arbitration Supplemental Award in 2025? India rejected it, citing sovereignty. A Ratali hydroelectric project is being constructed on which river? Chena. Now, fourth article. Israel orders Palestinians to evacuate parts of North Gaza, 30th June 2025. So we know things are going on in Gaza, Palestine, Hamas. So there are so many things which are there. Most of the people don't know the history of this whole thing. They just mug up the fact. Israel, Hamas, two-state solution, Palestine and all. First of all, you have to understand things, what is happening here. For understanding, we have to understand the history. So this is the Gaza region. You see, so this is the Gaza region. This Gaza, West Bank, and all these regions, it belongs to Palestine. This is Israel. So this was not like, this is not the map which was there in 1940s. The map was somewhat different at that point of time. So let me tell you the history and then we'll talk about this whole issue. So if you see this map, so around 1919, 1946, before that, it was all Palestine. And it was under Ottoman rule. And when Ottoman rulers were defeated in World War One, it became a British mandate. So it came under Britishers. And then when Jewish people, they were persecuted in Europe, Britishers were like, okay, so let's settle them in this particular region. So they were settled in this region, and then two states were created, Israel and Palestine. You see, and Israel, you know, declared their independence. It's a Jewish state. So Israel, Jewish people, they accepted it that we can be displaced here. Arab people who were there, these Palestinians, they did not accept it. And then Arab war, Israel-Arab war happened. And during this particular war, around 1949, etc., many of these Palestinians, they fled from this region. They went to different, UAE, Saudi Arabia, other states. And slowly and gradually, Israel started capturing more and more Palestinian territories. So you see how the things are changing. And currently, what is the status? So first of all, let me tell you the history and then we'll talk about it. The land historically known as Palestine under Ottoman rule. But Ottoman rulers, they were defeated in World War One. It became a British mandate. But Jewish immigration increased because they were persecuted in Europe. They started settling here. United Nations proposed to divide, separate Jewish and Arab state. Jews accepted the plan. Means Israel was created. Arabs rejected it, and they fought this war, Arab-Israel war. And during this war, Nakba happened. Nakba is 7 lakh Palestinians fled or were expelled, removed from their region, and slowly and gradually Palestine decreased, Israel increased, and now Palestine is reduced to like a very minuscule portion of this whole region. So do remember these facts and figures. Key issues, territorial disputes. Palestinians seek statehood in West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. If you again see, you see this West Bank, Gaza, and here East Jerusalem. Jerusalem, both of them wants. Jewish people also, Israeli also, Palestinian also. So they have this issue. Israel has built settlements in West Bank. Slowly and gradually, they are occupying more and more territories. And that is the problem. So what is the way forward now? There are different things which are happening. And what is Hamas here? Hamas is a organization, is a terrorist organization, deemed as a terrorist organization, which is talking about Palestinian sovereignty and all. But they're using a lot of violent methods, and that's why they're losing. Uh, you know, like more and more countries are designating them as terrorist organization and not see them in favorable terms. Unlike Palestinian people, whose cause seems to be genuine. So Israel, what are the key players here who are involved here? Democratic state, powerful military, supported by US, the most powerful country in the world. Palestinian Authority governs part of the West Bank. West Bank, Gaza, have a look at these regions. They can directly ask you, West Bank is associated with which region and all. So West Bank, Gaza. These are the region which is currently under Palestinian, but Israel is occupying more and more territories of it. So governs part of West Bank seeks a two-state solution that both Israel and Palestine should coexist. Hamas is a militant group that controls Gaza. We have seen that portion, designated a terrorist organization by US and EU, and opposes Israel's existence. International actors are these players. And what are the solutions which are there? Two-state solution, Palestine, Israel, they both exist together. One state, single state where Israeli and Palestinians are living. But because there are so many issues, so many differences between them, it seems very unlikely status quo. Things remain the way it is, which is widely criticized because Israel is occupying more and more Palestinian territories with each passing day. So this is some thing, some story behind what is happening here. And because Israel is controlling more and more Palestinian territories, Palestinian people, they are getting disgruntled, which gives more power to Hamas to do stuff which they have done. They are in this Gaza region, and so Israel is also doing quid pro quo. If Hamas kills 100 Israeli, Israel kills 1,000 Palestinians, which is, now it doesn't. I don't know what to say on this, but hope you can understand. So Israel has ordered Palestinians to evacuate parts of North Gaza because here they want to target the Hamas guys. That so you evacuate, you go to certain areas where we will not through rockets and all. But UN and other organizations, they are saying that the whole of Gaza is in a vulnerable scenario. None of the places are safe. Israeli military sent text messages and blah blah blah, asking people in northern Gaza, Jabalia and Gaza City, to move south to Al Mawasi. Palestinian and UN officials are saying that there is no truly safe area in Gaza. They are attacking anywhere and everywhere. Israeli guys. Israeli army intensified bombardments in Jabalia. You can see all these things. So the history was important for you people to know, and then what is happening here. Okay. The rest we have discussed all the things. We'll keep on discussing this. This will come again and again. But for now, this will suffice. Let's solve this question now. So the term two-state solution is sometimes mentioned in the news in the context of the affairs of Israel. Two-state solution, Israel and Palestine. PYQ UPSC 2015. Which of the following country of Southwest Asia does not open out to Mediterranean Sea? Whenever you see these maps, guys, not this particular map, this map, have a look at this. This is very important. UPSC loves to ask questions on West Asia, regions around Mediterranean Sea, so you should know these questions. So in this particular PYQ, you have to use your existing knowledge. Jordan is the answer. Jordan does not open out to Mediterranean Sea. If you see this map again, you will realize what I'm saying. Jordan does not open out to Mediterranean Sea, and Lebanon does. So yeah, Lebanon is somewhat upward. So guys, now next article. 5th July 2025, PM Modi hails 35 million diaspora as India's pride. If you read UPSC means, syllabus, you will realize diaspora is directly there in main syllabus. And many people are like, we have to read them separately, this and that. No, you don't have to read anything separately. What is their main syllabus? There is a very high probability that some form or the other they will be asked in pre. NRI, PIO, OCI. First of all, you should know difference between them. What is the basic difference between them? Like Modi sir is talking about when he was about to attend BRICS summit in Brazil. At that time, he went to 5 countries, including Trinidad and Tobago, which is a Caribbean country, first Caribbean country to accept UPI. So they are using UPI now. And here, Indian origin citizens, we call them Girimitias, whatever it is. You will see that word here. So 180 years have. Who are these Girimitias? Girimitias are the people who went to do plantation agriculture in these Caribbean islands, and 180 years have completed. So basically, they went there in 1845. It's not like all these people, plantation laborers, they went in 1845 at all places. In Mauritius, they went somewhat early. In Fiji, they went somewhat later. So these dates vary actually. First of all, NRI, PIO, OCI. What is the basic difference between them, guys? PIO no longer exists. PIO has been merged with OCI after 2015. So these three terms, they are actually very important for you people. You need to know the difference between them. NRIs are Indians only. They're living outside to do work. So they have Indian passport, they have voting rights, they can do government jobs in India. They don't require visa. They're anyway Indian citizens. They can buy property in India, any kind of property, be it agriculture, non-agriculture. They are taxed only on Indian income. And PIO discontinued after 2015. And you can see here, earlier they were getting 15 years validity, this and that. They can buy property, some limits. OCI is the current one. PIO no longer exists. They are foreigners, overseas citizen of India. Like these Girimitias, if they have got the citizenship of Trinidad and Tobago, they are foreigners. So they are foreigners. They don't have Indian passport. They don't have voting rights. They cannot do government jobs in India. They have a lifelong visa. Earlier PIO, they used to get 15 years visa. They can buy property in India, but not agricultural land. This is very important. How important? Really important. Not very, very important. Many people will like OCI overseas. Why will they buy Indian land? They can, but they cannot buy agricultural land. So keep these facts in mind. They are important. Now let's talk about this whole thing. Girimitias. Why they're called as Girimitias? Basically they came here via an agreement. So agreement, they used to pronounce it as agreement. So that from there it came girimitia. So PM Modi addresses Indian diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago. Why it is called Trinidad and Tobago? Because they eat a lot of tobacco there. Oh my god, guys, this is one of the like first Caribbean island or Caribbean country. What is Caribbean country? Which is lying in Caribbean Sea, Caribbean. So Trinidad and Tobago, Modi sir has gone there. Modi sir uh, loves to visit countries, which is actually a good thing. So, yeah, 35 million strong diaspora is India's pride. Modi is very happy they are asked to do. He's saying OCI card for sixth generation Indian origin citizens. Special focus on Girmitiyas. Who are Girmitiyas? They are the laborers who were sent to various countries during the colonial period, and almost 180 years have completed. They arrived first in Trinidad and Tobago in 1845, so they're celebrating that also. Girimitiyas. Do remember, they can ask you who are Girimitiyas. So most Girimitiyas in the Caribbean, Southern Africa, Pacific Islands, they trace their roots to Bihar and Eastern UP, and that's why these Bhojpuri songs, etc., they're very famous there. Okay. So you can read all these things. UPI has been adopted in Trinidad and Tobago. They can directly ask you which is the first Caribbean nation to adopt India's UPI. The answer will be Trinidad and Tobago. 180th Girimitya anniversary is celebrated in Trinidad and Tobago. So that means they arrived there in 1845. The endangered laborers, not everywhere at the same place. As I've told you, Mauritius they arrived earlier, Fiji they arrived later. So these things it is important for you to keep in mind. Endangered laborers, Mauritius I think 1830s, Fiji 1870s first time. So yeah, Modi sir is very happy. He is saying a lot of stuff. Keep it in mind. So yes, sir. Voting rights to non-resident Indians. Many people are very confused about this. Whether they actually have voting rights or not. So that's why I have attached a High Commission of India Singapore website here. That this you see this. Every Indian citizen staying in a foreign country who has attained the age of 18 years as on 1st January and is otherwise eligible to be registered as a voter can make an application in Form 6A for being registered as a voter. So yes, they can vote. NRIs, they can vote. Which of the following apply to an OCI card holder? Pause me, unpause me, try to solve these questions, guys. They are actually really important. How important? Really, really, very important. So they cannot vote. OCI cannot vote. So you eliminate first. You're left with just check the second one. They can buy agriculture. They cannot buy agriculture. They can buy non-agricultural land. So this is wrong. B 3 and 4. NRIs can buy agricultural land, any type of land. See this. These are tough questions. NRI, OCI, PIO, voting rights, Indian passport, lifelong visa. There's some conditions. See how many of them are correct. All of them. All three rows are correct. So PIO, when they were there, these were the conditions. They were getting visa for 15 years. OCI, lifelong. NRI, visa is not applicable. They're new Indian citizens. So C is the answer. The term Girimitiyas refers to whom? Who are called Girimitiyas. I love you now. In our time, when you people were not born, there was an actor Allu Arjun. There was a movie of his, Arya 2. And this is his Arya 2 song. I love you now. Upiriya Dipoina. I love you. Pranam Poina. So the Girimitiyas are endangered laborers sent to work abroad under colonial rule. Oh my god. Look at that question as Nicki Minaj would say. Nicki Minaj. Sixth article, 15 July 2025. When Shashi Tharoor writes, you read. But here he has talked about a lot of things important from Main's perspective, for which you can watch my Hindu analysis. From pre perspective, he talked about a particular term, IMEC, India Middle East European Corridor, proposed in G20 summit of 2023. India was the leader. You see Modi sir here. I love you, Modi sir. Na upiriya dipoina. I love you, Modi sir. Na pranam poina. Hope you are understanding what does it mean. Basically we are saying that we love Modi sir. So what will happen in this India IMEC? If you see this map, you will realize what will happen. Indians will be going to Europe and will be doing I love you to Europe. So there are two types of corridor. One is northern corridor, other is eastern corridor. You'll be like, how come this thing is eastern corridor? For us it is west. Yes, but we are seeing it from European perspective or from this region. So this is northern. So from here, if you see, if it is, this is northern, so it is eastern, right? So the eastern corridor is from India, UAE to Saudi Arabia, and then from northern corridor is from here, Israel, etc., to Greece, Italy, and all from EU will take over here. So we are using from here waterways and all. Then there are underground cables also for so many things, green hydrogen passage and all. So all these things are there. And then from UAE to Saudi Arabia via land route or train routes, and then again sea waterways will take over. So via this, what we want to do, this is seen as an alternative to Belt and Road Initiative and to increase connectivity between India, Middle East, and European countries. European countries. What is European? European countries. Pardon me for the phonetics part, guys. Um, so yeah, IMEC. Do remember these facts? They are important, and it's not a military alliance. They're just talking about, economy and economic. This is not a military alliance. Keep that in mind. So yes, sir, Shashi Tharoor sir was talking about, and India, Europe, they're anyway having this FTA. We'll have a talk on this as well in the subsequent videos. I love you na upiria dipoina. So yes, what we were discussing, India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor, strategic multinational infrastructure project. Please remember, this is not a military alliance. We are not thinking about underground military bases and all. No, participating countries, India, Middle Eastern countries, Europe, primarily through EU, and supported by other countries, big countries. We are trying to bypass China's Belt and Road Initiative. So obviously, China will not be a part of it. Eastern Corridor, India, US, Saudi Arab, and Northern Corridor, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, Europe. Boost trade flows, alternative to China's BRI. Energy transfer, digital connectivity, no way you're saying military related terms. So yeah, keep it in mind. Maybe informally it is military, we don't know. But formally we are not saying that. So which of the following components are included in IMEC infrastructure plan? Use option elimination, guys, when you're solving this particular question. I love you. Oh, Priya, Kipo, Ina. There's no military base. So if you eliminate four, you will get the answer. One, two, three. Railway networks, hydrogen pipeline, submarine, data cables, all these things will be there. But no military base. Not officially. So A is the answer. One, two, three. IMEC is often seen as an alternative to which of the following initiatives? The answer is Chepandis. No, the answer is B. Belt and Road Initiative. Really good. Next article, 7th article, 21st August 2025, Jaishankar flag challenges that tariff poses to India-Russia trade. So again, we do trade with Russia, oil, hydrocarbons. So US has imposed tariff on us. That is known to us. But again, what is important from pre-perspective? From pre-perspective, the thing which is important is EAEU, which has been talked about in this article. India and Russia were not very happy, so we are having talks that yes, this is so wrong, blah blah blah. You read it in your free time. What is important from pre-perspective here is EAEU, cheap on days, free trade agreement. Talks are going on, and again, so see this. So we are meeting for finalizing terms for India EAEU free trade agreement (FTA). So there are three stages basically FTA. Goods, basically tariff will not be there or minimal tariff will be there on goods. We're talking about goods basically in FTA. Then you have CESA, Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement rather, where you talk about goods as well as services, some amount of investment. And then in CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, you talk about goods, trade in services, trade in investment, infrastructure, intellectual property. So it's much wider. So and FTA, then CESA, then CEPA. So India EAEU free trade agreement talks are going on, and let's see how these talks pan out because we also have to balance US relationship here. India-Russia trade growth is increasing because we are buying hydrocarbons. That is basically oil from Russia, but we have to reduce it. FTA, CESA, and CEPA. Remember these terms? They are, how they are different from each other, which is narrower, which is the most broadest. So here IR and economy are also merging. Which countries India has signed CESA, CEPA, and FTA with? This is important. EAEU, guys. Oh my God, Eurasian Economic Union. Five countries are there. Russia, Belarus, you can see here. So mainly Central Asian countries and Russia. Headquartered Moscow, I think established in 2010s, 2015 around. If you know the exact year, post it in the comment section. So this is a small union. You may feel like whether they are trying to replicate EU, European Union, maybe it's a cheap copy of EU with due respect to EU. What is important for you people is where is the headquarter? What are the countries which are member of EAU? These are the things which you have to keep in mind. So first of all, let's have a look at the countries where they are located and all, and then we'll come back and I love so this is EAEU. So Russia, Kazakhstan, Russia you can see here. Oh my God. Kazakhstan, this is the country. Belarus, this is Belarus. Kyrgyzstan, this is Kyrgyzstan. Armenia. They can give you which of the Central Asian countries are part of, you know, EAU, EU. So there are five Central Asian countries. Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, these two countries are part of EAU. So now, what are the other three Central Asian countries? If you know it, you can post it in the comment section. And be a very good boy and a very good girl. Oh my God, guys. Be serious. Okay, I will kill you all and eat you alive if you make mistakes in these kind of questions. No, I will not do that. I'm not a cannibal. Plus, if I have killed you all, I cannot eat you alive because you're already dead. See, CSAT. Again, basic. Guys, MCQ. Arrange the following in increasing order of coverage from narrowest to broadest, which is the like narrowest and which is the broadest. So the answer is FTA first, narrow, and then CESA, and then SEPA 231. Answer is D. I love you now. Hey, 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 what happened to that? Next, consider the following statements about EAEU, Eurasian Economic Union. You read all these statements, try to do option elimination, and become a really good boy and really good girl. So its headquarters is not in Astana. Second is wrong. If you eliminate second, we'll get the answer. C, 1 and 3 only. Very good, very good, very good. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. If I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate at this number. If you want this particular PDF, you can also send me a WhatsApp message at this particular number. Next article, 8th article, 2nd September 2025, SCO had strongly condemned terrorist attack in Pahalgam and all. That's fine. What is important in this article is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. How many current members are there? And not only that, there are other things also which are important in this article. Global Governance Initiative, GDI, what is happening? So first of all, before we talk about all the things which we will discuss here and all these terms, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, 2001 Shanghai. It was Shanghai 5 initially, and then other countries joined, 2001. You see these: China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. See this four. So there are five Central Asian countries, and four you have already got. One which is not a part of Shanghai Cooperation Organization is Turkmenistan. Many people say Turkmenistan is like Switzerland. Switzerland of Europe. They don't interfere, they are like very neutral party. Same with Turkmenistan wants to be neutral. They don't want to side anyone or everyone. So Turkmenistan is the Switzerland of Asia or Central Asia. Full members you can see. Belarus is the last country which joined. India and Pakistan joined together 2017, around 2017. And these six countries, they are the founding members, the first six. These people, they join later. They can ask you the last country, Belarus, as of 2025. Maybe you will watch it in May 2026, just before pre. And by that time, maybe more countries have joined. But yes, so up until 2025 end, you have 10 countries. Remember these, they're important. Now, what is happening in this particular SCO meeting? It's important. See, there are two major, like powerful countries, two most powerful countries in the world, US and then China. You cannot discount the fact. I love my India, everything, but So what is happening is more and more countries are undermining UN now. Is Russia, Ukraine, Israel, US never took it seriously. So in a way, China is proposing alternative measure. If nobody's taking UN seriously, maybe countries will take GGI seriously, Global Governance Initiative, and all those stuff. So we'll talk about it. So everybody is talking about unilateral coercive measures of US and how it is undermining UNWTO, blah blah blah. This is bullying behavior. Xi Jinping is saying in this SCO meeting, and he has proposed GGI. So this is not the first time China is proposing something, like which will which is talking about whole world coming together. BRI, Belt and Road 2013, they talked about building trade routes and all, replicating Silk Route of the past. GDI, Global Development Initiative, they talked about in 2021, so that we can achieve SDGs, 17 SDGs, which are supposed to be achieved by 2030. Now they're talking about GGI, Global Governance Initiative, in 2025, which is about a global political order. Maybe we are not trying to replace or undermine UN, not officially, but what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a world order where people take things seriously, multilateralism and all. If UN is not working, something has to be there. So maybe that something can be GGI. That's what means China proposed in this particular summit. And they are talking about this proposed for GGI, Global Governance Initiative, and blah blah blah. Laos is admitted as a partner country. There are 17 partners, 10 members we have discussed. Partners you can forget, 10 members you cannot. Members are thinking about establishing a SCO development bank. They are not very happy with what is happening in Gaza, and they are also talking about UNSC resolution 2231. Remember this, they can directly ask you. UPSC has done that. UNSC resolution 2231 is related to what? Lifting sanctions on Iran nuclear program. So they're trying to, again, Afghanistan is just an observer, not a permanent member. All members except India reaffirm support for BRI. So maybe India is becoming little too isolated here. So we have to talk about it. Why this is happening? They have to understand Belt and Road Initiative is passing through. That one component of BRI, that is CPEC, China Pakistan Economic Corridor, is passing through Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So ideally, India has to do a lot of heavy lifting here to convince other countries that this is not good. You should not support BRI. This is so wrong. I will kill you all and eat you alive. No, India should not say that. Let's solve some question, guys, and become a good boy and a good girl. So this is one MCQ. Try to solve it. And as I've told you, you can post in the comment section whether you're getting these questions correct or not. Full members, Afghanistan is not a full member, so eliminate 5. Rest all are. So the answer is B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Belarus is the latest member as of 2025. I'm telling you, maybe by like, but again, we'll talk about that. We'll talk, don't worry. So, yeah. With reference to SCU, consider the following statement. Oh, this is a good question. I have not told you all the stuff, so here you have to use your pre-existing knowledge. Try to use your pre-existing knowledge. If you get this question correct, you can state in the comment section that, sir, even though you did not tell the whole thing, I got this whole question correct. That would be awesome. That will happen in UPSC, means UPSC actual exam also. You will read certain stuff, maybe they will ask you something where you know one statement, you don't know the other two. Third is correct, right? Oh my god, even if you know third is correct, you don't even need to know the other things, guys. See, this is the option elimination. Secretariat and the headquarters of SCO is in Beijing. Although the name is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Secretariat is in Beijing. So first is wrong. And this is actually interchange. RATS, there is a regional anti-terrorist structure in Beijing, like Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Their headquarters is in Tashkent. So they talk about how to curb terrorism and all, which is actually a joke because they have made Pakistan a part of SCO, and then they're talking about terrorism. Which of the following initiative is directly linked to the implementation of UN 2030 Sustainable Development Goals? The answer is GDI, Global Development Initiative. Do have a look at those. Belt and Road, GDI, GGI, how they are different from each other. Ninth article, ninth most important current affairs for from international relation perspective. You may feel like, sir, drop in gender parity, how is that important from international relation perspective? Because here we are talking about global gender gap report. Oh my god. Just give me a second, guys. I should not become Shankar Mahadevan. Breathless. So yes, sir. Global Gender Gap Report 2025. Who publishes it? World Economic Forum. Remember these facts. What is India's current rank? 131 out of 148 countries. What was India's previous rank? 129 out of 146 countries. Are we performing best from the bottom? Like top from the bottom? Yeah. We're topping from the bottom, guys. But yes, Pakistan is at 148. So yeah, we're doing better than Pakistan. That's a good thing for us. Which is the best performing country in Asia, like or South Asia? Bangladesh. 24. Why? Because when you talk about global gender gap report, there are different indicators. One such indicator is political participation. We'll talk about these ranking. If you see the index, economic participation, educational attainment, health, political empowerment, in that Bangladesh used to do good. Now the situation is somewhat different. But you know, earlier you had Sheikh Hasina, Khaleda Zia, no? So political empowerment was a very important factor, and because Bangladesh used to do good, their performance always used to increase or improve in global gender gap. So keep that in mind. India is not doing that good. A women reservation bill will always be in limbo. Let's see how when it becomes a reality. Passing constitutional amendment is one thing, making it a reality another. So India's rank 131 out of 148 countries, 2025 global gender gap. Who publishes it? World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum. We'll talk about World Economic Forum. Basically, big rich people, government entities, private players, they meet and they talk about it. They meet at Davos. UPSC has already asked PYQs on Davos. We'll have a discussion on that. And their headquarters is in Switzerland only. Global trend, current rate, full gender parity when women and men will be equal is 123 years away. We'll not see it in our lifetime until unless it's some medicine which increases our life expectancy. Iceland is topping. These European countries, they always top. South Asia, Bangladesh is the top performer, 24th rank, guys. India is 131 because of political empowerment and economic participation. More and more women are doing good in that. South Asian countries, Bhutan performing better than us, Nepal performing better than us, Sri Lanka performing one rank better than us, Maldives worse than us, Pakistan worse than us. Yay, we are here. I love you. And then above all these is Bangladesh. So we are not that bad. Modi hai to mumkin hai, guys. 24, 25. What is the rank of Bangladesh, guys? I will kill you all. 24. Whoa. So remember these facts and figures, they are important. So India has improved in economic participation, educational attainment, health and survival rates. Fine. Political empowerment is not good. Women in parliament fell from 14.7 to 13.8. Women in ministerial roles dropped from 6.5 to 5.6%. So yeah, we have to do something about that. This is a PYQ, UPSC PYQ, so solve it. Global Gender Gap Index, who publishes it? World Economic Forum. Oh my god. Hey. What is India's rank in Global Gender Gap Report 2025? The rank is 131 out of 148 countries. Which country has topped the Global Gender Gap Index for 16th consecutive year? Iceland. Oh my god. Iceland is making record one after the other. Which South Asian country performed the best in Global Gender Gap Report 2025? The answer is Bangladesh. My god. BRICS will help create a multipolar world. So again, BRICS, important here also there are confusion related to BRICS. What are the confusion related to BRICS? The one confusion is how many countries are there currently in BRICS, guys? Is it Chapatis? Oh my god. I've become old, guys. So yeah. So BRICS first summit happened in 2009 in Yekaterinburg, Russia. Where it happened? Yekaterinburg, Russia. Aha, aha. And then at that time it was only BRIC. And then South Africa joined late in 2010, so it became BRICS. So now six more countries have joined it. 2010. Six more countries have joined it. How do you remember it? EU plus S. 6 to 11 countries are there totally in BRICS right now. People will be writing in comment sections at 10 countries, 11 countries. I will show you. So Iran, Indonesia, Egypt, Ethiopia, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. So these are the six countries. Like, in our time, they used to be sung Ilu, 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 Ilu. I love you, I love you, I hail you. So here it is not I L U, IIEU plus S. So you will be like, no, sir, Iran is not there, Indonesia is not there, Saudi Arabia is not there. So let me show you. Let's go to official website of BRICS. So this is like BRICS 2026 summit. Will BRICS 25 happened in Brazil? 26 is supposed to happen in India. Let's see whether it happens in India or in Russia. There are talks still going on whether it will happen in India or Russia. So BRICS India 2026 up until now, India only. Earlier it was like Russia will host it, but now India. So again, what I was saying, see the total member countries. You count it because you have to do CSAT also. My God. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. IIEU plus S. Indonesia is also part of it. Saudi Arabia is also part of it. So whenever you have doubts, always go to official website and become a good boy and a good girl. So again, BRICS in a way is trying to tackle, it represents global south. Most of the countries are from southern hemisphere, and most of the countries, not saying all, developing countries and all, trying to counter US and all. Brazil especially, they don't like USA at all. Again, what is important? BRIC 2009 first summit, Yekaterinburg, Russia. South Africa joined 2010. How many countries currently? 11. 2025 summit, Brazil. 2026 summit, not likely to be Russia but India. And informal group, it is not a military or political alliance. Remember these facts. Held annually, presidency rotates. Blah 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 blah. So these are the facts which are actually important. Key institution, NDB, UPSC has already asked. And why Fortaleza declaration? This bank was created. Fortaleza declaration. Now your homework, solve that UPSC PYQ on New Development Bank. Contingent reserve arrangement they're talking about. They're different banks, guys. You have to do a comparative analysis. NDB, New Development Bank; ADB, Asian Development Bank; AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Maybe I think I have already done it. If you have not done it in my 50, it will be there in 50 most important current affairs where we'll do the comparative analysis. Or maybe I've already done it in economy, current affairs. Do have a look at it. Represents over 40%. You can read all these things. Contingent reserve arrangement, they can ask you, it is associated with BRICS, SCO, what. So BRICS, $100 billion pool of to provide support during balance of BOP crisis, like IMF did during 1991, which led to LPG reform, liquefied petroleum gas reform. No, liberalization, privatization, globalization reform. MCQ, guys. Let's solve it and become a good boy and a good girl. Not an or, right? You cannot be both good boy and good girl at the same time. So BRICS summit is being held in Rio de Janeiro, correct? Prime Minister, maybe you will like, we don't know this. You do know who are the new members of BRICS. Argentina and Namibia are not, right? So eliminate third, you will get the answer. Even if you don't know, this is but obvious, guys. Wherever Modi sir goes, when this BRICS summit was going on, Modi sir went to 5 countries. Trinidad and Tobago, we have just discussed. Girimitiaj, Ghana also he went, Namibia or something he went. So wherever he goes, he gets these honors. That's a but obvious thing. Who is the best? He's like, according to Andhvakt, he's the avatar of Vishnu and all. I love Modi sir. He's in my heart. There's a good photo of Modi sir and Amit Shah in my heart. In our time, there was a song, Dil cheer ke dekh tera hi naam hoga. That means if you tear my heart, there'll be one name. But if you tear my heart, there'll be two names, two photos. Amit Shah sir, Modi sir, group photo. They remind me Amrish Puri, and there was one his friend in a Nayak movie. But no, they are much better. Amit Shah and Modi sir, best guys ever. With reference to grouping of countries known as BRICS, PYQ, guys. First summit not held in Rio de Janeiro, Yekaterinburg, Russia. So first is wrong. Second is correct. South Africa was last to join the BRICS grouping at that time. So B is the answer now. I love you. 11th article, 11th most important current affairs for international relations. Taipei slams China's new air route passing over Taiwan Strait. So Taiwan Strait is a narrow water body connecting two larger water bodies. Isthmus is a narrow landmass connecting two larger land masses. So remember these facts, they are important. Taiwan, we'll talk about this issue. Taiwan Strait, if you see this and become a good boy or girl, you will see this is Taiwan Strait. It connects East China Sea with South China Sea. So what is your homework? UPSC has asked a lot of PYQs on these states. Important state, Park State, separates India, Sri Lanka. You see Strait Gibraltar, connects Mediterranean Sea with Atlantic Ocean. You see this Bering Strait, in a way, this Bering Strait separates Asia from North America. So very close to international date line. Remember these facts and figures and become not only good boys and girls, really good boys and girls. This is important. These states are actually very important. So what is happening? Taiwan, China. China is People's Republic of China, PRC. Taiwan is Republic of China. When you will read world history, you will realize that at that one time Kuomintang people, they were ruling over China, and then these people and communist people, they fought, and then Kuomintang people, they ran away and settled in Taiwan. So Taiwan, Republic of China, ROC. On the other hand, this is China's PRC, People's Republic of China. But China believes in one China policy, believes Taiwan is theirs. But many countries, Taiwan has announced their independence and they're not very happy with what they're doing in Taiwan Strait. They're opening an aviation route. China is opening an aviation route, and Taiwan is not happy. China is saying that no, no, yeah, there's too much congestion and all, so we have to do it. I'm sorry. I love you. Now, is it too late to say sorry? I'm so sorry. We cannot be too serious, guys. We're talking about one of the toughest exam in the world, so it has to be. My Telegram channel name is Fun Study with Shubh. Study should be fun. It should not be too serious. Revise all these states. Solve this question. Which of the following correctly describes Taiwan Strait? Is it too late to say sorry? The, People are like, sorry. Sorry is a Pawan Singh song. Generally, oh, sorry, sorry. No, sorry is Justin Bieber's song, not Pawan Singh song. Guys, please be serious, okay? I will kill you all otherwise. So, Taiwan Strait connects East China Sea with South China Sea. C is the answer. Hello. Park State separates India and Sri Lanka. These are important, guys. MCQ again. Which of the following state connects Atlantic Ocean to Mediterranean Sea? State of Gibraltar. You will do research on all these options also. Very important. UPSC has asked questions on almost all these states. Which of the following states separates Asia from North America? Bering Strait. Closest to international dateline. This was a PYQ. Solve these PYQs on states. Otherwise, I will kill you all and eat your life. 12th article. India will continue efforts to strengthen ties with Cyprus. So Cyprus, places in news, countries in news. If you see Cyprus, you will see it is in Mediterranean Sea. You see Cyprus? So Cyprus, North Cyprus, South Cyprus. North Cyprus controlled by Turkey, supported people in group and regime and all. South Cyprus, basically Greek people are there. And when we say Cyprus, we mean South Cyprus. Both of their capital is Nicosia only. Nicosia is also divided into two parts, the capital city. One part is the northern, is the capital of northern Cyprus, other is the capital of southern Cyprus. Do remember. And so Cyprus, we went to Cyprus, South Cyprus. Modi sir went to Cyprus, and he supported Cyprus and he talked good things about. In a way, he's acting against Turkey, which supports Pakistan. So from that regard, you have to see this India-Cyprus relationship. They can ask you, Nicosia as a place in news. Where is Nicosia? Nicosia is in Cyprus. Keep this in mind. Why it is in news? Because Modi sir went there. Earlier, nobody, like not PM, etc., used to go to these small countries because we have created a ministry, external affair ministry, which has to do these works. But Modi sir is like, I have to go to all countries of the world, not once but twice, thrice. No, we love Modi sir. If he's going there, there is a reason for it. You people don't know it, but you will know it soon now. So again, but many people, many political experts were like, the work which Modi sir did in Cyprus and all, it could have been done by external affair minister at a lesser cost, because when PM goes, the cost is much higher than when an external affair minister goes. But again, we are not money. We have a lot of money. India does not have issues with money and anything, guys. So again, he was welcomed. Blah blah blah. He met Indian diaspora, and all these things happened. Cyprus supports our stance on Kashmir. Cyprus is pro-India. Turkey is anti-India. And when we are saying stuff, good things about Cyprus, Turkey is taking a note of it. and we want them to take a note of it. We're not very happy with what they keep on doing and how they keep on supporting Pakistan. So in a way, India's visit to Cyprus is a message to Turkey. That's what you have to understand. We established relationship with Cyprus in 62. So shortly after Cyprus gained independence in 70s, they had this fight, North Cyprus, South Cyprus, and all blah blah blah. Just remember, where is Nicosia and what is Cyprus stance on Kashmir? They support us, and the whole Cyprus Turkey issue and all. This is important. The FDI sector, this is important from mains perspective. You can read it in your free time. I love you. And Cyprus also supports our demand for permanent member in UNSC. Which of the statement for best describes India-Cyprus bilateral relation? India Cyprus supports India's stance on Kashmir. One of the least. No, no, it's not one of the least. It's increasing. We share strong diplomatic ties established in early 60s. This is the answer. If you read it again, you will realize. Longest border. This I just gave for fun. These kind of questions are also asked by UPSC. So longest border. There was a time you people were not born, around 2016-17. UPSC asked one question: where do you find the longest banana? Oh my god, please, no non-veg jokes, guys. So longest border, Canada and US. I love you na upidia dipoina. I love you nipranam poina. 13th article, 2nd July 2025. Indo-French Army exercise, Sakti 2025. If you see the recent, PYQs of UPSC in 2024, I guess, they have asked about these military exercises. So they are really important. So Indo-French Army exercise, Sakti, happened in France happened. It happened in France. You have to remember which two countries. Like Shakti is an exercise between which two countries, and then also the component. Shakti is an army exercise. Like India, France, they can have three kind of exercise where army is there. Where one where army, second where navy, third where air force is there. So this is Indo-French army exercise. Oh my god! Look at it. So remember this. And then there are other countries and certain other exercises. India, US, Yuddhabhyas Army, Vajrapahar, Joint Training Exercise, COP India Air Force, Malabar Navy. Earlier it was bilateral, now other countries are also included are Quad, JUS, Japan, Australia, India, USA. India, US, India, Russia, rather, Indra, Army Navy exercise. India, France, Garud, Varun, Shakti. We are talking about Shakti here. Garud and Garud Air Force, Varun is naval. Remember these facts and figures. These are all factual, so you have to revise them multiple number of times. India, United Kingdom, Ajay Warrior, Konkan, Andhra, Indradhanush, India, Japan, Dharm Garjan, Shinyu Metri, Jimex. Jimex is very famous. Aus Index, India, Australia, Austrahin. India, Singapore, Simbex, Bold Kurukshetra. Note it down somewhere, paste it on your wall, and look at it like you look at the picture of, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz. Guys, focus. Exercise Shakti 2025. Recently news is a bilateral military exercise between India and France. I love you. Which of the following is a trilateral or multilateral exercise involving India? The answer is pause me and pause me Malabar. MCQ. Garud, Indra, Dharm, Garjan, Yuddha Abhyas countries, you have to match them. So, Yuddha Abhyas is US, fourth is D, eliminate PC. Indra. Where is Indra? Indra is Russia, if I'm not wrong. So 2 is A, so the answer is A. 1C, 2A, 3B, 4D. Revise it, you will solve these questions and you will become a good boy, good girl. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. You are your own competition. You're not competing with anybody else. Keep it in mind. Just try to be better than what you were yesterday. If I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate at this number. Every single contribution matters. At the same time, if you want this PDF, you can also send a WhatsApp message at the same number. That's it from me, guys. I will see you in the subsequent parts of 50 most important current affairs. The next part which will be coming will be art and culture, 50 most important current affairs. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye bye.
Hello everyone, Chepandis Cheputulsaledu guys. My name is Shubham Sagar. Today we have to do part 2 of 50 most important current affairs of international relation. Part 1, you can have a look at it. We have covered 13 articles. So my name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my Telegram channel. I do Hindu analysis Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. I share that Hindu analysis PDF by 9 p.m. So you can revise those PDFs. That will help you in remaining when it comes to being disciplined when it comes to current affairs. Let's start. 14th most important current affairs from international relation perspective. Ethiopia inaugurates Africa's biggest dam. Anything biggest, largest, first is very important. So this particular GERD dam, where is it located? Oh my god, this is Ethiopia. Addis Ababa is the capital. Where? Again, so Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, it is located on Blue Nile River. So this Blue Nile, this White Nile, they came together and they create Nile River. They merge together, Nile is created. So Blue Nile and White Nile, they are on the upstream region, right? So if something's happen in the or something happens in the upstream region, downstream Nile will be impacted, and that's why Egypt is very worried about this grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on Blue Nile River. They are saying this is Gandi Baat, Gandi 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 Baat. That means it's a bad stuff, bad stuff. They are not happy with it. But then what happens? Let's say there are some countries which come in the inauguration of this particular dam. So these countries, they are siding with Ethiopia and they are against Egypt. So these are the things which you can deduce from all these kind of events. So Ethiopia inaugurated GRD, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Africa's largest hydroelectric project. What is the length? What is the height? What is the these things you can read in your free time. Now let's talk about Prime Minister of Ethiopia. He's very happy. He's like, I will make Ethiopia great again, just like Trump is making America great and India is making, or like Modi is making India great again. Inauguration ceremony now. Kenya and Somalia, if they are attending, their leaders are attending, that means Kenya and Somalia, they are siding with Ethiopia in this whole debate against Egypt. Egypt relies on 90% on Nile for 90% of its water. They are not happy. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, he's saying that GRD is an existential threat to them and they have lost a protest at UNSC. Let's see how this thing unfolds. What is important from exam perspective? Chepandis, no. GERD Dam, located on which river? Blue Nile River. Which two countries are fighting over it? Ethiopia and Egypt. Oh, guys, this is not blah. So Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam located on Blue Nile. Keep it in mind and become a very good boy. Attack on one of us is an attack on both. Say Saudi Arabia Pakistan pact, 19 September 2025. So we have seen Israel attacked on Qatar. So many people got worried by that particular thing, and then Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, they did a pact that if Israel attacks Saudi Arabia, Pakistan will attack Israel. And again, if let's say India attacks Pakistan, then will Saudi Arabia attack India? So that is the thing which we have to keep in mind. It is said that Pakistan, when they were making nuclear weapons, Saudi Arabia provided them money and all. So yes, their relationship goes way back. Saudi Arabia and nuclear armed Pakistan signed a mutual defense pact. Attack on one is attack on both. Oh my god. That happened after Israel struck Qatar. So again, you can see all these things. Timing is seen as warning to Israel. And again, Saudi Arabia could come under Pakistan's nuclear protection, and that's why we are also wary, because India and Pakistan, we tend to fight a lot. So in that scenario, will Saudi Arabia attack us? So we have to maintain a balance and we have to keep a close look on these Gulf Cooperation Council countries. GCC, established in 1981, headquarter is in Riyadh. You can see here Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, 6 countries. 1, 2, Saudi Arabia is 1, UAE is 2, Oman is 3rd, Qatar is 4th, Bahrain is 5th, and Kuwait is 6th. See my pronunciation? So these are the 6 countries, which is basically, a group, formal, like, economic group, this and that, but they are also targeting Iran. They are also very wary of Iran. After Iranian revolution, countries are very wary of Iran, how they want to overthrow monarchy, axis of resistance, blah, blah, blah. So again, you can read all these things, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, Pandis. Let's first of all focus. So yeah, we have to keep a close look on the Saudi-Pakistan pact and let's see how things materialize in future. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have had close defense ties since 60s. Pakistan troops protected holy sites in Makkah and Medina, deepened after Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. Because that Islamic Revolution overthrown monarchy, and Saudi Arabia, it's a monarchy. So it feels like these kind of thoughts, etc. Iran can try to do these kind of stuff in Saudi Arabia as well. So again, you can read all these things. First major Gulf defense move since Qatar attack. And what is important from exam perspective, what this all pact is all about, like what the Saudi and Pakistan pact is all about. Gulf Cooperation Council, how many countries are there? When was it formed? Where is the headquarter? All these things. Keep it in mind. Oh my god. PYQ2, UPSC 2016, which of the following is not a member of GCC? Iran. You can pause me right now and you can solve these questions. And be serious, guys. Don't joke around, okay? I'm a very serious guy. Which of the following statement about GCC is or are correct? Have a look at these options and try to do option elimination and arrive at a correct answer like a good boy or goody good girl. Whoa, guys. So it was found in 81 years, headquarter, yes. No, Egypt and Jordan. So the answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Next article, 3rd October 2025, Pakistan will get a reply for aggression at Sir Creek. So Sir Creek is a disputed estuary between India and Pakistan. So, and again, Pakistan did stupid stuff in Kashmir and also our Rajnath Singh sir, earlier people used to call him Kadi Ninda sir. Kadininda sir means whenever anything used to happen, he used to do Kadininda. That means excessive criticism. But it was mainly when he was in opposition. But now he is in ruling party, so he cannot do Kadininda, right? Right now he is doing Kadininda of Pakistani activities. Please remember Sir Creek. What it is? Is it a delta or an estuary? It's an estuary. Now here, international relation and geography are merging together and they are becoming Chepandis. What does it mean they're becoming Chepandis? So basically, what is the difference between delta and estuary? It's about two partners, guys. Both delta and estuary, it's about two partners, river and sea. Which is more dominant partner determines what will be formed, estuary or delta. What does it mean? Boy and girl, who is more dominant? So here, when river becomes more dominant than sea, then river sediments get deposited, where they're meeting, and it lead to formation of delta. But when sea is more dominant than river, then sea water will mix into river, making that particular river, that portion, brackish, salty. So that happens in estuary. In estuaries, sea is a more dominant partner. In delta, river is the more dominant partner. And sediment deposition of river happens at the meeting point of river and sea. So remember this, Sir Creek is not a delta, it's an estuary. That means there, sea is the dominating factor. Okay, let's focus here. Rajnath Singh sir. And there is a case study here also, which is there for mains purpose. We'll not talk about it because right now we are mainly focused on the pre-part. Route to Karachi passes through Sir Creek. If you see this map again, not this one, I will show you. Guys, please be serious. Okay, why you do like this? You people are grown up. Sir Creek, Karachi. Karachi is the economic hub of Pakistan. So via Sir Creek, we can go to Karachi and we can do stuff. So yeah, he's saying all those stuff. He's doing Kadin in the Pakistani activities. He was in Bhuj to celebrate Vijayadashmi. Very good. Rajnath Singh sir is such a good boy. So again, Sir Creek, it's an estuary, not a delta. Remember it. Sir Creek is a 96-kilometer tidal estuary in run of Kutch, contested between the river. So again, now this is a case study, guys. India is, as far as I know, you people may know more than me, India is a secular nation. Defense minister of a particular country, should he do, Sastra Puja, these guns were created shooting down, so he performed a Sastra Puja, which has religious connotation. So how far it is correct, for a defense minister of a country, secular country, we are not Pakistan yet, guys, we will never be. But, Pakistan, Islamic State, if they do these kind of stuff, I don't know whether it should be done in a secular country or called India or not, or do you think we are just pseudo secular now and we are almost a Hindu Rashtra, just like Pakistan is an Islamic state? Again, I don't know. So again, this can be a case study. Not only about India, because if Modi sir's ministers, they are doing something, Modi sir can never do wrong. So maybe they know it's totally valid. But what impression is it sending to the minority people who are in armies when they see these things happening? I don't know. I don't know because we are in Amrit Kal, so I cannot say more stuff. So consider the following statement. The delta is formed by sediment deposition at mouth of the river. Yes. Estuary water body, fresh water mixes with sea water. Sir Creek is not an... Maybe you are confused with delta and estuary. Sir Creek is not a delta. It's an estuary, right? So just eliminate third option. And the answer becomes A1 and 2 only. Really good. Jadoo, that means magic, it's magic, it's magic. Which of the following characteristic is common to estuaries? Brackish water, because sea dominates, so sea water mixed with river, and the water is brackish, salty. B is the answer, guys. Why have I done the cross part B? 17th, 29th October 2025, missed opportunity. ASEAN summit happened. ASEAN, we have talked about it in the first part, right? 1967, Jakarta, Indonesia, their capital. Modi sir did not go for last two ASEAN summit. There are different reasons, election season, this and that. Maybe he, at the sideline of ASEAN summit, there was also something which was going on, which was known as East Asia summit. And US is a part of East Asia Summit. We are a part of East Asia Summit. So maybe we did not want to face US because US is a naughty boy. So East Asia Summit 2005. Here there are like ASEAN countries. When we talk about ASEAN countries, we earlier used to talk about 10 countries, There's a mnemonic. Now Timor-Leste has also become a part. VPLTV mimics Brunei, Philippines, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia, and Singapore. So now in this ASEAN, you will add 8 more countries, India, Japan, and all these 18 countries. Now add here Timor-Leste also. So it will become ASEAN 10 plus 1, 11. Timor-Leste. So these 18 countries, they're part of East Asia Summit. India is a part of it. ASEAN centrality. And then there is something called as APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. India is not a member of it. Australia is, Canada is, US is, India is not. India applied for APEC membership, but there is a moratorium there. Moratorium means they are not increasing the members. So India was not admitted. So remember these facts, they are important. So what this article was talking about, this article was talking about that Modi should have gone. Elections will keep on happening in India. So that is not the reason why you should not go to these summit, because East Asia summit happened. So many countries came, Japan came, US came. So we could have gained something out of it. India became a dialogue partner of ASEAN in 1995. That means minister level meetings started happening. Summit level means PM and the head of the state, they started meeting. ASEAN countries plus, again, East Asia summit, we have discussed 18 countries. And Australia, then there was a Quad meeting also, which was happening on the sidelines of ASEAN summit. So ASEAN has so much significance. Quad, we have discussed the mnemonic for Quad countries: J, US, Japan, Australia, India, and USA. You can read this article in your free time. Modi sir, although he did not go, he gave a virtual speech, this and that. What is important here? East Asia Summit. UPSC has already asked PYQ on East Asia Summit. And again, here tariffs and all those stuff was going on. And in the first part, guys, if you remember, if you go through in IR first part, we have talked about ASEAN India free trade agreement or trade in goods agreement, how ASEAN is exporting more to India, importing less, we have a trade deficit, and then how China is taking advantage of this ASEAN India agreement and all. So we have talked about review of that agreement, and these talks will go on. So you can have a look at the first part, IR part 1, to know more about this whole issue, what is happening in AITIGA. PM Modi sir absent. Maybe he was saying that Bihar assembly poll was there, election is more important. But many people believe that US was there, Trump was there, he did not want to face him. India, Malaysia. Malaysia supported Pakistan during Operation Sindoor, and again, so that's why we did not go there. So there can be multiple reasons, and it's open to speculation why Modi sir did not go. This article was saying that Modi sir should have, oh my God, should have gone there. You know, he should have attended this particular summit, so to say. PYK6 UPSC 2015. India is a member of which of the following? Have a look at it and do chepandis. Guys, please be serious. So I have told you, APEC we are not a member, so eliminate it. East Asia Summit, yes, we are a member. So, and ASEAN we are not. So B is the answer, guys. MCQ7. Consider the following statement regarding India's engagement with ASEAN. These two are interchanged. We became a dialogue partner in 1995. We became on partnership was upgraded to summit level in 2002. So these two are interchanged or will be interchanged. So first, second wrong. The answer is third. Third is correct. Dialogue partnership, ministerial level, summit level, heads of government. So the answer is C. 3 only. 18th article, 26th November 2025, Amnesty International, human rights organization, accuses RSF, which is a paramilitary force of Sudan. So Sudan, issues are happening in Sudan. So Sudan, South Sudan. So what was happening? Like, there was a coup which happened in Sudan. Before the coup, the government which was there, they established a paramilitary force there, RSF. Now the government has changed. So the new government is not recognizing paramilitary force, that particular paramilitary force. So they are fighting with the armed forces of Sudan. So this is happening in Sudan after the coup. Darfur region and this RSF, they are creating atrocities or causing atrocities, blah, blah, blah. Do remember South Sudan, they are like connected in so many ways. There are some petroleum in Sudan, pipelines are in South Sudan. So both of the countries are connected to each other. Do remember Darfur region? They can ask you places in news. Where is Darfur? Sudan. So yes, in that regard, you can understand India also have paramilitary forces. So we can learn something from Sudan, what is happening in Sudan, how things can change in Sudan. In fact, there are many people who say that, you know, these paramilitary force, they are generally created to keep your army in check. Sometimes army become too powerful, so somebody has to keep them in check, and then you create those paramilitary forces. We have CAPF, CRPF, BSF, Assam Rifles, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. So in that regard, you can think of RSF, Rapid Support Force of Sudan. Amnesty International, you know, human rights organization, they are saying that this RSF has created or reported or done a lot of human rights violation. RSF, execution, rape, hostage taking. So they are saying these are war crimes, and UAE is supporting this RSF. All of them have their own agenda, right? So they may be like, UAE may be having good relation with the previous government of Sudan, which has been replaced now. So that's why they are supporting RSF, because they are the supporter of the previous government. They have been established by the previous government. So there can be so many things which are going on in the background, guys. So do remember Sudan, Khartoum, Darfur, what is the basic issue? And then there is issue which is going on in Democratic Republic of Congo as well. Africa always remain in turmoil, and that is not a thing to do hey about. PYQ 8 UPSC 2023. Chad, Guinea, Mali, Sudan caught the international attention for what? So you may not know anything about Chad, Guinea, Mali, but we know about Sudan. So what thing we have just discussed? Chepandis, guys, Chepandis. Chebo, Chebo. Please be serious, guys. You people are, you know, just give me a second. So, successful coup. D is the answer. Read about Chad, Guinea, Mali as well. This is the news, but yes. Amnesty International, what it is? A global human rights movement. B is the answer. MCQ 10. Which of the following country has been accused of allegedly facilitating RSF abuses in Sudan? The answer is United Arab Emirates. Wow, guys. 19th article. Why does peace seem so elusive to Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo? Again, a neighboring country. Up above you have South Sudan. Here also there is problem in Democratic Republic of Congo. So you have Rwanda here, Rwanda. So this eastern region of Congo is very unstable because in 1994, around 1994, Rwanda genocide happened. Tutsi and there were other groups. So one particular group went to Congo, and now Rwanda people and the government, they are looking for those people. So they have, so again, things are unstable in the eastern part. That's what we are trying to say. This instability or instability has created issues in Democratic Republic of Congo, which has given excuse for US to interfere here. And US, why is US interfering in Congo? Because Congo has a rich reserve of cobalt, critical minerals, and everybody needs critical minerals. China is a hub of critical minerals, but we are too dependent on them. So that's why everybody is now focusing on the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Rwanda is creating its own unrest in this particular region because of people, tribes which had an influence in Rwanda, which has influence in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as well. So let's talk about, hope you understood some part of it. So two major peace initiatives took place. So DRC and Rwanda, Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, because Rwanda is supposed to be supporting this M23 rebels. These tribal people who belong to M23 group, most of them, they are there in Rwanda, that group. Tutsi, Hutsi, there are different kinds of groups which are there in Rwanda and Congo. So Eastern Congo, unstable. It's unstable also because of the Rwandan interference and all. So US is brokering an agreement between Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. Ceasefire deal happened between DRC and this M23 rebels mediated by Qatar. Why is US brokering deal? Because US want cobalt and critical minerals. Rwanda is backing this M23 rebels. Most of these tribals, they are in Rwanda region only. I think they're Tutsi or they will be Hutsi. You can have a look at it. You don't need to remember these. Just remember Tutsi and Hutsi, all these rebels, they are part of this Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo region. So this is also happening because of the way these Britishers, these Europeans, they divided African continent and different countries there. Zigzag line, just like our Redcliffe, he was in a hurry, he divided India and Pakistan. We are still having issues. Similar and even worse kind of demarcation were done in African countries, and that's why we are facing these issues. So yeah, Doha ceasefire agreement signed between DRC and M23, which are the rebels which are fighting in the eastern part of the Congo. Immediate ceasefire, M3 withdrawal from seized region, but things will, reduce. The escalation will reduce if Rwanda stops supporting this M23 rebels. So access to, and why US is interested? 24 trillion worth of critical minerals, cobalt reserves. So yes, opportunity to counter China's dominance in DRC's mining sector. So that's why US is very interested. Such greedy people. Okay, Trump. So failure of the ceasefire, you can read all these things in your free time. The basic rationale, I hope you are understanding. So Rwanda is inciting a rebellion in the eastern part of Congo. There are different groups, Tutsi, Hutsi rebels. So those fights which they are having, Rwanda is taking advantage of it, thereby creating unrest in the eastern part of the Congo, which is also very rich in cobalt and critical minerals. To summarize everything, we don't have to do PhD from pre-perspective. From mains perspective, we can always have detailed discussion later on. Which of the following country has been accused by UN of supporting the M23 rebels, Rwanda? Human Rights Watch is what? Is it a Chepandi? It's an international NGO monitoring human rights abuses. As the name suggests, Democratic Republic of Congo is considered strategically important to US because it possesses over 70% of global cobalt reserve and other critical minerals. So that's why. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. Again, if I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can always donate at this number. If you want this particular PDF, you can send me a message at this particular number only. Now, how are India Taliban relations changing? Let's have a discussion on that. Let's talk about how are India Taliban relations changing. And we will talk about, again, here there is a UPSC PYQ which we have to discuss, guys, because we are Chepandis. I have, a phobia. OCD. OCD, OCD. Okay, let's start. So, India Taliban. Russia is the first country in the world which has officially recognized Taliban. For most of the other countries of the world, Taliban is still a terrorist organization. But we have spent a lot of money, a lot of goodwill in Afghanistan. We cannot let that go to waste, right? Plus, we don't want Pakistani forces and Chinese influence to perpetrate Taliban. So we want some amount of influence in Afghanistan, and that's why our strategy is changing. For years, India was slow to engage with Taliban, but in 2025, we have done certain stuff, which shows that we are building contacts with them. We do not recognize Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, but we are trying to ensure that the relationship becomes or changes for the better. Also, Pakistan and Afghanistan, they are having issues. Enemy of enemy is our friend. So in that regard, you have to look at these things. What is important from exam perspective here? From prelims perspective, this thing. Afghanistan bordered by how many countries? IIT CPU team. Remember these? The capital letters. India, Iran. Officially, we are a part of, we are neighboring Afghanistan. That regard, Afghanistan can help us, in freeing this Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Think about it. So India, Iran, Turkmenistan, China, Pakistan. You can see here IIT CPU team. So T of the team you will take Tajikistan. Azerbaijan is not a neighbor of Afghanistan. UPSC has already asked PYQs on it, so keep that in mind. 7 countries bordering Afghanistan. Cool, sir. So this is important. Neighboring countries. Russia has officially recognized Taliban. China, Iran, they are maintaining ties. India, if you see, India is trying to improve relationship with Taliban because we are now realizing Taliban is here to stay. We don't. We will talk about India-Afghanistan relationship. We feel sad about how they are treating their women there. Even here when they came, their ambassadors and their representatives and all, they were like only male journalists will be there, and then things changed. But yeah, keeping aside the views and the ideology of Taliban, we have to engage with them because there is so much at stake in Afghanistan. That's what this article is talking about. So historical background, we had like Afghanistan was a part of a Mauryan Empire, this and that. And we recognize them. Republic of Afghanistan, 1947-49. Taliban regime happened. For us, Taliban was a terrorist organization, and so our relationship deteriorated during those 5 years. Post 2000 engagement, democratic Afghanistan. See, we made this highway, Zaranj Delaram. Remember these places, guys. They can ask you, Zaranj Delaram highway, where is it? Salma Dam, where is it? Is Salma Dam related to Salma Hayek? You will say no. Salma Hayek is an actress. Monica Bellucci is an actress. What are you saying, sir? So remember this. Post 2021, the Taliban takeover, India was slow, but now India is realizing we have to engage with them, and that's what we are trying to do. Strategic and economic interests, connectivity, Chabahar port is not going anywhere. We are not able to develop it, but we need influence in Afghanistan. We cannot really let it be. It's so much at stake. Prevent anti-terror groups, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, etc., from operating in Afghanistan. So there's a lot at stake, and that's what this article is talking about. We have to engage Taliban. It's not that we have to agree with their views, their ideologies, but we have to engage them. And again, you can read it in your free time. Let's have a look at the questions. Which of the following countries has officially recognized Taliban government? Russia. Russia or Russia? PYQ 15 UPSC 2022. Borders with Afghanistan. And again, here your IIT, like the mnemonic which we have just discussed, will help you in eliminating option Chipu Kumari, guys, let's focus. So Azerbaijan is not a neighbor. IIT CPU team, there is no A there. So if you eliminate first, you will get the answer. That's how option elimination works like a charm, guys. Answer is C3, 4 and 5 only, guys. Please be serious. MCQ 16. Which of the following are challenges in India-Afghanistan relations post-Taliban takeover? Strong economic growth is a challenge. Eliminate fourth, you will get the answer A1, 2 and 3. So that's why read all statements and go for option elimination. Japan new PM commits to higher defense spends, ties with India Quad. So Japan facing aging problem, population in the higher age bracket increasing with each passing day. Same problem is there with Italy, South Korea. So remember these countries which have aging problems. So they're looking into it. Quad we have just discussed. JUS, and she's very enthusiastic about Quad. She's very, she loves Modi sir, not like love, but she has deep respect for Modi sir. She's first woman prime minister, Japan's first woman prime minister. Shani Takashi, my Japanese friend who is preparing for UPSC, pardon me for the pronunciation part. So you can see all these things. I did blah, blah, blah. For them, for Japan, Russia, China, and North Korea, they are serious concern. China and Japan, they keep on fighting over Senkaku Islands. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on that. So we'll talk about that as well. So yeah. What is important here? Aging problem of Japan. What is important here? Japan and China fighting over which islands? So again, she is very happy about India as a unique country. Blah, blah, blah. I love you. Quad summit and remains uncertain which will happen in India. JUS, JUS, JUS. Remember it. Quad always remains in news. And then she's saying some good things about India. That is awesome. But the problem, Japan's biggest problem, population decline. Send Indian people. Allow us to come there. We will take care of it. Oh my god. I take my words back. No. It's just that we have no role to play in we becoming the largest, the most populous country of the world. Which countries are part of Quad, guys? India, Japan, Australia, US. Solve this question 2024, and that's why we're talking about aging, and that's why I showed you this particular article. Chepandis. That means tell me. In our time, you people were not born. There was a singer, Mika Singh. Tell me something, Meri Jaan. So Japan has aging problem that we have seen. So second has to be there. You're left with A and C. Check the first one. I told you, Italy also has this problem. Italy, Japan, South Korea, Nigeria, and South Africa. They're producing kids, jam, jama, jam. So there's no problem there. A, 1, 2, and 4, jam, jama, jam. What are these? Those kids or chocolates? Jam, jama, jam. China Coast Guard ship sails through Japan administered Senkaku Islands. So have a look at the Senkaku Islands. Senkaku. Which kind of kaku? Which kind of uncle? Senkaku. So Japan is saying it's Senkaku. For People's Republic of China, which is China, for Republic of China, which is Taiwan, they have different names. Diayu Tai. So again, my Chinese friend who are preparing for UPSC, pardon me for the pronunciation part. So this whole island, this group of islands, they are administered by Japan, but China is saying it is ours. Taiwan is saying it is ours. Why this issue has escalated? China has sent some ships, etc. in this region because Japan said that if China attacks Taiwan, then will have to look into it. Maybe we'll see what we can do. So China is like, take those words back, otherwise I will kill you or eat you alive. No. China said it patrolled the Diaoyu Senkaku Islands territorial waters in lawful mission to defend national sovereignty. This happened on 17 November 2025. So for them, it is Diaoyu, and for China, like Japan, Senkaku. Who is currently administering it? Japan. Japan's PM statement, Taikashi, we have just discussed Taikashi. She's saying that Chinese attack on Taiwan could lead to military response from Japan. Oh my god, this is so, so brave of her to say this. But yeah, I can understand the intention behind it. China's position on Taiwan. When you people will grow up and become 18 plus, you will read world history. Whoa! So there you will read about Chinese history, Kuomintang, Communist Party. So this Kuomintang, they were earlier ruling China, and then a battle happened between Kuomintang and Communist Party. Then Kuomintang fled to Taiwan, established their regime there, and that became Republic of China. These Communist Party, they had their, they established their hegemony over China, which became People's Republic of China. So for China, Taiwan is their territory. It doesn't matter Kuomintang or their descendants are ruling, and they have not ruled out using force to take control. And Taiwan is like, no, we are separate from you. We are Republic of China, your People's Republic of China. Don't you see the difference? So again, you can see all the stuff which is written here, and I have told you the basic rationale, the thing which you have to keep in mind. With reference to China's stance, China considers Taiwan as part of its territory. Really correct. Not only correct, it is not only very correct, it is really correct. Whoa, guys. China has renounced, they never renounced the use. They have never said we will not use force. So second is wrong. The answer is A1 only. Taiwan officially no. Taiwan also does not accept Beijing's sovereignty. Why will they do that? Are they nuts or what? PYQ 20 UPSC 2022. Senkaku Islands. China and Japan engage in maritime disputes over these islands in the East China Sea. 23rd, 24th, 11, 2025. Ukraine, like here, Trump, at that time, Trump was, I want Nobel Peace Prize, I want Nobel Peace Prize, I will ensure peace between all the countries of the world. If you are not, there's not fighting, I will ensure you fight first, and then I will ensure peace between all countries of the world. So in that regard, you have to look into this whole issue. So he was like, there will be a peace treaty between Ukraine and Russia. And in that peace treaty, if I show you Ukrainian territories, let me show you guys. You see this? So there are five major contentious regions: Crimea, Kherson, Crimea has already been annexed by Russia, Zaporizhia, Donetsk, and Luhansk. So this whole peace treaty of Trump was saying that most, like, out of these five, most of the region of these five will go to Russia. It was a lose-lose treaty for Ukraine, man. What is important here from exam perspective? UPSC has already asked a question on Zaporizhia, places in news, so remember it. Very important. So Trump draft proposal for Ukraine, and he was like, and Zelensky, Ukrainian president, he was like, either we risk our dignity, losing our dignity, or relationship with a key partner. It's a lose-lose whole peace proposal. Trump was like accepted by November 27. What was the peace proposal? Ukraine must seize territory in Donetsk. Now, please remember these places where they are. So seize your territory, whatever, forget about it. Donetsk, it is belonging to Russia now. Must recognize Crimea, Donetsk, and Luhansk as de facto Russian. So 3 out of 5 gone. Kherson and Zaporizhia. So whatever is in Ukrainian domain, whatever is with you, that will be with you. Whatever Russia has captured, that will be with Russia. Wow, what an awesome peace proposal, Trump. Hats off to you, man. So that's why Zelensky is sad. But the other people are saying that it's better, accept that Russia has occupied a major portion of those regions and move on. How long will you fight? And then this is not things are not ending here. Ukraine would cap military to 6 lakh troops, formally renounce NATO membership. So almost everything which Russia wanted earlier, that would be accepted. So that's why Russia is very thrilled about it. Putin responded positively, but Ukraine and European partners are like, no, no, no. Trump is his head is somewhere else. Maybe with his head has gone, or his brain has gone with Epstein and all. But let's think about something which is respectable for Ukraine, peace with dignity plan. So let's see what happens. What is important here from exam perspective is you remember these places, guys. Trump will keep on doing his Trump things. Anyway, the world over, Trump is not the only idiotic leader who is ruling. And people are like, how can they elect Trump? Believe me, guys, people outside different countries, they do think similar thing about different countries also. How can they allow such an illiterate person to rule over a particular country? I'm not naming any country. So we are surprised about Trump. There are many people who are surprised about some other leaders also. How can they allow that guy to rule over a particular country? So yeah, these things are happening. You are seeing these kind of extremist leaders here, there, everywhere. So European countries are like, let's talk about something respectable. What is important? Remember these 5 provinces, and there is a name for these provinces: oblast. Oblast is the name, like district name, province's name, which was used in the Soviet era, and it continues now. Basically, you talk about regions, they call it oblast in their region, like the Soviet region. Ukraine had Soviet influence. It was a part of USSR, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's solve some questions now and do Chepandis, guys. Chepandis means Cheputilsu Ledu Kadu. So, Oblast is administrative province in certain post-Soviet states. Remember these terms. PYQ 22, UPSC 2018. Catalonia, Crimea, Mindanao, Oromia. So, we have just discussed Crimea is Ukraine, right? So, second has to be wrong. Eliminate. This will happen in UPSC also. It's not like you will know all the answers of all the questions, like all the options. You have to do option elimination. Now 3 and 4, 1 and 3. So 3 is in both of them. You just need to check Catalonia. Yes, there was a referendum whether they want to be a part of Spain or not. So yes, Catalonia was in news. So answer is C, 1 and 3. Read more about Mindanao also, Romania also. Anything which has been asked by UPSC earlier, they become really, really, really important. Syed Akbaruddin sir, India needs to connect, build and revive with Africa. So he's saying that, earlier we used to have India-Africa summit and all. 3 summits happened. One happened in 2008, New Delhi. Then another happened in 2011, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And then third happened in 2015. After that, we did not have any Africa summit. In that Africa summit, around 54 countries of Africa, they were part of it. Last India-Africa Forum Summit held in New Delhi in 2015. Participation from all 54 African nations. Over the past, you can see here. So we need to continue this. Why did we stop it? Around 2008, it was conceptualized as India-Africa Forum Summit. And why we need to have more interactions with Africa? Because China is very active there. So we also need to be active. Plus, Africa is the future, along with India. By 2050, Africa will host 1/4 of world's population. India will be world's third largest economy. So you can see here. So much areas of collaboration. We are anyway providing them generic medicines. US does not like it. Japan does not like it. Property rights and all. Many African students, they come to India, they study here. So there is area of collaboration. Africa is very rich in mineral resources, but we should not be going there only to tap their resources, so to say. So there are areas: maritime engagement, security cooperation, IIT Madras, Zanzibar campus. So again, you can see here. The only thing, they can invest in green hydrogen, electric mobility, UPI. Our UPI is very famous here, there, everywhere. Modi sir, whenever he go to different countries of the world, you know two things happen. First of all, he get that country's highest medal, whatever that medal is. If there is no medal, they will design one medal and give it to Modi ji. And second, more often than not, these countries are adopting India's UPI. So that UPI adoption can be done by many African countries as well. So we are very good in these things. So yeah, there are areas of cooperation. That's what this article is talking about. Create an India-Africa digital corridor, combine UPI with Africa's own digital strength, but no, revive also this India-Africa Forum Summit. That was a good way of us interacting with 50 plus countries of Africa. I had seen in some state level exam, they have asked which continent has maximum countries. Asia is the largest continent, guys, but Africa has maximum countries. So remember these facts and figures, they're actually important. 54, around 54 countries they have. Do find out how many countries Asia has. If you know it, you can post it in the comment section. PYQ 23, UPSC 2016. Consider the following statement with regard to India-Africa Summit. Held in 2015 was third such summit. Yes. 2008, New Delhi. 2011, Addis Ababa, which is the capital of Ethiopia. And then again 2015, Delhi. After that, no summit. Not everything was done by Jawaharlal Nehru, not done by Jawaharlal Nehru. That is wrong. 2008. It happened before, we entered into Amrit Kal in 2014. So second is wrong. And the answer is A, one only. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. 25th article, 15th September 2025, Russia flexes military muscle with hypersonic missiles and bombers. So you have sonic. Sonic means speed of sound. 1 Mach, right? And then you have subsonic, that is 1 Mach. Subsonic is less than the speed of sound, less than 1 Mach. Supersonic is less than 1 Mach, greater than equal to 5 Mach, and hypersonic is greater than 5 Mach. So they are flexing their, Zircon missile, which is a hypersonic cruise missile. So cruise and ballistic missile, that also we have discussed. Ballistic missile guided by gravity mainly. Cruise missile, ballistic missile, you can think of it like a stone you have thrown, which is following a parabolic path, And cruise missile, it's like a pilotless flight. You can guide it. You can have more control over it. BrahMos is a cruise missile. Agni is a ballistic missile. This Zircon, which they are showcasing, it's a hypersonic cruise missile. Remember these? UPSC has asked questions on THAAD earlier, Barak missile earlier. So they can always ask on Zircon also. Solve these PYQs on THAAD and Barak if you have not solved already. So they are doing this Zapat military exercise with Belarus, showcasing their strength. Belarus is there. Belarus is their ally. Capital is Minsk. I don't know. You people were not born. In our time, there was a series, Friends. So there was a character Chandler. He used to live in 15 Yaman Road, Yaman. And then there was Phoebe. Phoebe's boyfriend, he went to Minsk, which is in Belarus. So again, do remember what is important here. Zircon, what kind of missile it is, associated with which country, what is hypersonic, what is cruise missile, what is Zapad exercise. All these are important things from exam perspective, Chepandi's perspective. Now let's solve some questions and become a really good boy or really good girl. Guys, please be serious, okay? Zircon missile recently tested by Russia is a hypersonic cruise missile. MCQ 25. Hypersonic missile, like first of all, subsonic below Mach. So third is C. Eliminated. Now you're left with AB. Supersonic, Mach 1, 2, 3, or Mach 1 to 5, whatever. 2 is A. So the answer is A. 1B, 2A, 3C. Very good. Zapad military exercise is between Russia and Belarus. Remember these facts and become a very good boy, very good girl. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. You are your own competition. You're not competing with anybody else. Keep that in mind. Just try to become better than what you were yesterday. And if I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate at this particular number. If you want this particular PDF, you can again send me a message at this same number. So that's it from me. Take care. Be blessed. I will see you soon. Hello everyone. Welcome to IR Part 3, 50 Most Important Current Affairs. My name is Shubham Sagar. We have discussed 25 most important current affairs of international relation. We have to start from 26. As I've told you, my name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and become a really good boy or really good girl. Wow. This is my Telegram channel, guys. I share, I do Hindu analysis Monday to Saturday at 9 a.m. and I share those Hindu analysis PDF in this Telegram channel, so you can join it as well. So 26th article, template for security cooperation in Indian Ocean. Here, Harshvipan, Sayantan Haldar, they are talking about Colombo Security Conclave. Remember this is important. Generally, we read about ASEAN and all those stuff. We very rarely, or you may have read about it, Colombo Security Conclave started in 2011. We talk about Sagar, security and growth for all in the region. We talk about Indian Ocean security to ensure that this CSC started in 2011. Original members, India, Sri Lanka and Maldives. Current members, you see India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Mauritius, Bangladesh, Seychelles attended as observer, and they have also become a full member in 2025. So currently the status is, when you're talking about CSC, India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, founding members, Mauritius 2022, Bangladesh 2024, and Seychelles is the sixth member. Do remember it, important. It is in news right now. So, template for security cooperation. In this Colombo Security Conclave, talks are happening. We are worried about Chinese presence in Indian Ocean. Most of these CSC countries, they have no issues with Chinese presence because they are dependent on China to a certain extent. So that is also which we have to handle. So yeah, it started in 2011, lost momentum, then revived in 2020, maritime security. We are concerned about Chinese presence in these countries. But again, we have to also see what these countries are thinking about Chinese presence. We have to keep a close tab. That's what we are saying. But apart from these countries, it's about Indian Ocean security in general, guys. That's what CSC is all about. Malaysia has participated as guest, and this article, if you see it, it appeared on 3rd December. So maybe in future you will see Malaysia as the 7th member. Wah, wah, wah. China factor, I have told you, India sees Chinese presence in Indian Ocean region as major security concern. Other CSC members do not view it. So we have to keep a tab on this whole thing, how things develop, how much China is active in this region. So yeah, that is one thing which is a challenge when it comes to CSC. Do remember the country's name, when was it formed, and all those stuff. Let's solve some questions so that you can understand stuff. What are the things which are important? Original members, ISM, India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, not Mauritius. You can get confused, and that's why it is tricky. India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, these are the three founding members, guys. So keep it in mind. Answer is C. The more questions you solve after reading theory, the better you are. Again, this is a static question, nothing to do with what we just studied, but because we're talking about Colombo and all, so these kind of questions you should be practicing. Again, here your static knowledge will help you. So draw equator, see countries. Now this is your homework. See countries passing to equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. Because I was just doing one Hindu analysis article where our education minister said that Ujjain is at the intersection of equator and Tropic of Cancer. That is wrong. Ujjain is near Tropic of Cancer, but it is not at the intersection. Anyway, TOC and Tropic of Cancer equator, they are parallels. Parallels never intersect, but that happens, these things. So again, these things are in news, guys. Singapore is nearest to equator. Look at all the other places as well and how far they are away from the equator. D is the answer. How many of the above are full members of Colombo Security Conclave as of 2025? All of them, all five. C. Whoa, next article, 27th article of the day. Chepu Chepu, Chepandi Kumari, Sappe Bhari. What does it means when I say that? Chepandi Kumari is Sappe Bhari. Oh my god, look at my pronunciation. So that means you people are Chepandi Kumaris and you people are better than everybody else. Wow. So reusable locket. There is a phenomenon. Now this is here IR and science, they are merging. That happens sometimes. I could have covered it in science and tech, but there are so many other important articles that I was not able to cover it in science and tech. So it is science and tech plus IR combined. So reusable rocket, like PSLV and GSLV, which we have our rockets, they're not reusable. They go once, they get destroyed and all. But if they are reusable, how convenient it will be, how cheaper it will be in the future run, and there's only one entity in the world which has pioneered reusable rockets, which is SpaceX, and their reusable rocket is known as Falcon 9. China is trying to do the same. Juyug reusable rocket, they are working on it, so it failed. But SpaceX, Elon Musk, they are saying that no, it has potential. Juyuk 3, my Chinese friend who is preparing for UPSC, pardon me for the pronunciation part, if once successful, it would become China's first domestically developed reusable rocket. So do remember Juyuk 3. is associated with which country? Musk is Elon Musk. Zhuyuk 3 design is might outperform Falcon 9, and that's why we talk about Artemis 2, Artemis mission, and all. Here, that is a race between US and China. China is doing all these things. Why? Because they have also discovered water and all those stuff in on moon. So there is a competition going on. It is believed that China want to reach there by 2030, and that's why US want to reach there first via these Artemis mission. Earlier, Artemis was supposed to have 3 missions. Now they will have 4 missions. So you can see all these things. So far, SpaceX is the only company that regularly performs successful booster recoveries. That means they have reusable rockets where they can recover their boosters, their engines. A reusable orbital rocket is designed to have its major component recovered and reused. Very good. Falcon 9 rocket by SpaceX is an example of reusable orbital rocket. Both the statements are correct. Answer is CCC, Chepandis. Wow, guys. Which of the following companies have conducted successful orbital booster recoveries? That means successfully, use their rocket components again and again. Reusable rockets. SpaceX is the only one. Wow. Now research on Blue Origin and land space. Wow, guys. Now, again, a static question because we're talking about China. Which of the following groups of countries border Myanmar? You're like, sir, why do you do it, sir? I do it because that's how you revise stuff. Thailand, Laos, and Bangladesh. These are the other 3 countries which border Myanmar. And for that, you have to see the map. So if you see Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, and Bangladesh, all of them borders Myanmar apart from India and Chepu Chepu China, Chepu Chepu Hati, the Malay guys. Please grow up, okay? What is Chepu Chepu? Now, next article is 28th article. Moscow and Kiev must step back from escalation and push for peace. We have talked about Ukraine in, I think, some parts of IR, part 1 or part 2, but here it is something else altogether. Russia is saying that, Ukraine is launching drone attack on killing Putin, sir. Oh my God, shiv. So again, they have given some evidence. CIA is saying that is wrong. Obviously, CIA, US is with Ukraine. So what they will say, no, we wanted to kill, Putin or what? So Ukraine has earlier also done this in 2022. Nord Stream pipelines. These Nord Stream pipelines, they were they're used to supply gas from Russia to Germany and all, and in a way it impacted Ukraine business in Western Europe. So many people, like initially, late people realized that Ukrainian nationals, they were involved in breaking or sabotaging these 2022 Nord Stream pipelines. So again, let's see how things pan out, but things are not looking very hunky-dory. What is important here, you can see all the to and fro discussion. What is important here is focus on Ukraine map, guys. Russia, Belarus, Poland, Slovakia, Hungary. Very people of Hungary are very hungry, guys. Cheap joke. Romania, Moldova. So these countries, they're bordering Ukraine. So they can ask you which of the following countries are bordering Ukraine. So have a look at these countries. They are really important. How important? Really, really, really important. So that is, again, sensitive diplomatic timing. All these things are going on. Russia's hardening stance. You can read all the other stuff. We need to de-escalate because Russia is having nuclear weapons, and even the countries which are supporting Ukraine, they also have nuclear weapons. So we don't want the things to escalate further. Right now when I'm making this video, we are talking about Iran. Everybody has forgotten about Russia and Ukraine. So this is the summary of what is happening in Ukraine. It's a country in Europe. They want to be closer to West European countries, but Russia, they have their allies in East Europe. They don't want Ukraine to be joining Western military groups. So in 2014, Russia took control of Crimea. When a non-friendly government came in Ukraine, fighting started. February 2022, they launched a full-scale invasion. Ukraine is defending itself, supported by US and European countries. Russia is saying that it is protecting its security because it does not want US influence in the East European countries, so to say. So again, these things are happening. Let's see how things pan out in the future. Now, this is what I was talking about. UPSC 2023 PYQ. How many of the ever mentioned countries share a land border with Ukraine? Only 2. Romania, Hungary. I think these 2 only. Rest they don't. So Hungary and Romania. Does Hungary and Romania share? Let's Chepandis. Let's have a look at it. Hungary. People are very hungry here in Romania. So yeah, 2 countries only. Two. Only 2. These are tricky questions, guys. Ukraine is in news. Iran is in news. Bombing of Nord Stream 2022 pipeline is important geopolitically because it highlighted energy infrastructure as a target in modern warfare. Gas used to be supplied from Russia to Germany and all. Maybe, like, Ukrainians, they did not like it. Their business was impacted. So they sabotaged it. Ukraine war is best described as a conflict driven primarily by sovereignty, security concerns, and great power rivalry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 29th article, the uncertainty about after Maduro, like, Nicolas Maduro, he has been apprehended by US Venezuelan president. Venezuela, they have largest reserves of oil in the world. Wherever there is oil, there is US. If you sweat and oil comes out of your body, you will suddenly see US personals around you. So again, I don't like Trump. I don't like these extremist leaders. Make America great again. And stupid people. So again, what they are trying to say here, that regime change is not going to change anything. People will get more united. Same thing like which has happened in Iran right now. So Trump has to stop doing all these stuff. There is another thing also. There is another enemy of US in that region, Cuba, and there is an oil for doctor program which Venezuela and Cuba runs. So oil, largest reserve oil Venezuela has. Doctors, Cuba is very good in doctor. So they need oil for refrigeration and all. So oil is provided by Venezuela to Cuba. Cuba in turn provides doctors to them. So now everything has been hampered. Venezuela has been captured by US, so to say, not directly, but you can understand. And Cuba is not getting oil. Cuba is facing so many crises there. Foods are lying on the street. Refrigeration has failed. This Trump guy is creating so many issues out of nowhere. And the article is saying that these things are not going to change anything. In Libya, nothing changed. State collapse and chaos. But Iraq and Afghanistan, US had to come back from Afghanistan. But it seems like US is not learning anything from these things, these past failures, so to say. And people will now rally around the flag, rally around former Venezuelan president. See, he was infamous. There are democratic issues. There is hyperinflation in Venezuela. It's not exactly democracy, but you are trying to make what by doing these things, you are making Nicolas Maduro a hero, which he may not be earlier, but now you're making him a hero in Venezuela. So you have to understand what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. It's just because my body is giving oil, so you will be like, I want to lick it. What the F is this, man? With reference to Venezuelan economic crisis, consider the following: hyperinflation, large-scale outward migration, collapse of oil production. All these things are happening there. But strong democratic institutions you do not, associate with Venezuela. They don't have strong democratic institution, so to say. So see only three: hyperinflation. Now revise these terms, guys: inflation, deflation, stagflation, hyperinflation, skewflation, reflation. All these terms are really important. See only three: strong democratic institutions. No, no, no. Recently, Venezuela achieved rapid recovery from no. They are facing a lot of issues, guys. And yes, Venezuela has largest oil reserves. So first statement is wrong, second is correct. Answer is D. Statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 is cheap and D is, that means correct. In international relation, the term resource curse, because they're very good in, this is resource curse, Dutch disease, you may have heard about it. Because they're good in one thing, they're not able to develop other sector. Resource wealth discouraged institutional development. You may see it in many African countries also. You may see it even in India, in like Jharkhand and other regions which are good in one stuff, minerals and all, they are not very developed in other arena. So that happens. Chepu chepu happens. B is the answer, guys. Next, Somaliland is no longer a diplomatic end note. 30th article of the day, Samir has written, in our time when you people were not born, there was Chipandi Kumari, Sapi Bhauri, guys. What is Chipandi Kumari? So, Somaliland, it's a region which has become independent because of the chaos and hunger crisis, famine, and all which is happening in Somalia. So, Somaliland has emerged. Many countries directly, indirectly, US, UAE and all, they support it. Now Israel has started supporting it. What is important here is China has a base, in military base in Djibouti. And if US, Israel and other countries, and Somaliland is having relationship with Taiwan, China does not like Taiwan. And if China recognizes Somaliland, so in a way they are recognizing the breaking apart of Somalia. So in that case, other countries can also start recognizing Taiwan. You can understand why China is not very happy with Somaliland. And that's what this article is talking about. Do have a look at the location of Somaliland. It's very close to very close to what? Very close to, it is very, it's threatening stability in this particular Red Sea region, Bab al Mandab region. So Israel has recognized Somaliland as an independent sovereign state. Not UN has not officially recognized it, but directly, indirectly, many countries are supporting it. So many focus on Western, and again you can see here, challenge is for China. Why? Because it intersects one China principle of China, because Somaliland, they have sent their dignitaries to Taiwan, which China does not like. Beijing has condemned Israel move as endorsing separatism. And Somaliland is an inseparable part of Somalia, as Taiwan is an inseparable part of China. Unlike many separatist regions, Somaliland has maintained peace. They have, like Somalia, the condition is much worse in Somalia than Somaliland, so to say. Keep a tab on Somaliland. You see here, and then you have this Bab al Manda, which is connecting Red Sea with Gulf of Aden. So this is a very strategic region, which you can see, and that's why China is little concerned about this Somaliland thing. Taiwan factor: 2020, Somaliland established official ties with Taiwan. So again, that is another reason why China is not liking Taiwan, means Somaliland rather. Somaliland became an African outlier with only Eswatini also recognizing Taiwan. So not many countries in the world recognize Taiwan, and even fewer countries recognize Somaliland. UN does not recognize Somaliland. Strategic importance of Bab al-Mandab. All these things are happening around Bab al-Mandab, which connects Red Sea with Gulf of Aden. Just like you remember, Strait of Hormuz, also remember Bab al-Mandab. Energy flows under many times. You can see here, Chinese military is there nearby in Djibouti. So they established their first overseas military base. The base safeguards Chinese interest near Bab al Mandab. Now, if UAE, US, and all, by supporting Somaliland, they get so close to Djibouti, China will not like it. China's military base will not like it. So that's why things are happening the way they are happening. And the article is saying that China has to cool down a bit, not escalate, because they're known for their neutral policy. And here they are going towards one side. So, yeah, maybe cool down a bit. With reference to Somaliland, it declared independence after the collapse of Somalia's central government. Yes, not internationally recognized as sovereign by United Nations. That's what I told you. So, eliminate second, you will get the answer A, 1 and 3 only. Option elimination works like a chepandi, that means charm. Strategic importance of Somaliland in recent geopolitics is primarily due to its location near Bab al Mandab Strait. Which one of the following country has been suffering from decades of civil strife, food shortages? That is Somalia, D. And that has led to, that's why people are saying that Somaliland is much better compared to Somalia right now. Bab al Mandab states connect Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, Chepukumaris, Sappibharis. Oh my god, guys, please be serious. Which of the following is our likely consequences of wider international regulation of Somaliland? Emergence of an alternative logistic hub in Gulf of Aden, reduced of Chinese strategic leverage, strengthening. No, it will not be strengthening diplomatic isolation of Taiwan. In a way, it will reduce the diplomatic isolation. If people can recognize Somaliland, why can't they recognize Taiwan, right? So third is wrong. B is the answer. Chipukumaris, guys, please serious. 31st article. EU UK attempt negotiating with Trump. Trump is like, I want Greenland. I want Greenland. He's saying that if right now he's saying that if they don't help me in capturing Iran, I will take Ireland. Oh my god. Trump is such a baby, man, but a very vicious baby, so to say. Oh my God. Nobody, I don't wish that kind of a baby on anyone. So now here, these leaders on 20th January, they were saying that we'll talk with Trump in World Economic Forum meeting, which will happen in Davos, Switzerland. So you can read, there are so many people saying so many stuff. What is important here is World Economic Forum. Chipandi Kumaris, that is World Economic Forum. So it is found like 1971 headquarters is in Switzerland. Meetings happen in Davos. Their headquarters is in Cologne near Geneva, Switzerland. Annual meeting at Davos, Switzerland. Again, you can see non-profit NGO type of a public-private cooperation. Like I was seeing one WEF meeting, and they also publish different kind of reports. So where big Modi, small Modis. No, there's some political expert. They used to say that no, Narendra Modi sir, our honorable Prime Minister sir, entire political science degree holder sir, and Nirav Modi. All these people, there was a photo of them together in World Economic Forum. So again, that is none of our concern. So public-private cooperations, big businessmen, big head of the governments, they come and they talk. So why Davos matter? And in this particular meeting now, they want to diffuse this tension between EU and US. So let's see how things pan out. Where is Davos? Switzerland. PYQ 18, UPSC 2006, guys. PYQ 19, UPSC 2009. Again, Davos. They love UPSC. Love Davos na upiriadi. Poina. They love Davos na pranam. Poina. Iti kuntadi. Prem ki. Iti kuntadi. Oh my god. That is a Nallu Arju song. So Khan's, okay, Davos is wrong. If second is wrong, oh my god, see, second is wrong, you got the answer A. Cannes is in France, Davos is in Switzerland, Roland Garros is in France. So when you people will grow up, become 18 plus, you will read about something called as tennis, lawn tennis. In lawn tennis, there are grand slams, 4 grand slams. Rafael Nadal, vamos! So yeah, Roland Garros, French Open, you have Wimbledon, you have US Open, you have Australian Open. The World Economic Forum is best described as a platform for public-private cooperation and agenda setting. Chepu Chepu. That means agenda setting. 21st January 2026, bridging the Gulf. So again, here we are talking about India-UAE relationship. So we have to a little bit, you know, there are certain stuff which are going on in the background which we don't or can't or which shouldn't discount or overlook. That's what this article is talking about. So let's talk about this article, guys. What this article is talking about. So UAE President Sheikh Mohammed, sir, he came. He made a nearly 2 hour visit, just 2 hour visit. One meeting with Narendra Modi, sir, and he went away. UAE, India's third largest trading partner, second biggest export destination, seventh largest foreign investor, and now they want to. You can see UAE investment in Gujarat, Modi sir's placed. Although whole India should be Modi sir's placed, and they should make investment in all other regions, but it's fine. The thing is, UAE now wants to have a uh, strategic defense partnership with us. Why we have to be very wary? Because currently UAE and Saudi, they are having some tensions. Saudi Arabia, they have already signed one agreement with Pakistan and all. So if we sign it with UAE, Saudi, what impression or what message we're sending to Saudi Arabia? Because we have West Asian diaspora not only in UAE but in Saudi Arabia as well. So we have to be a little wary about where we are going with this whole thing. Growing rivalry between UAE and MBZ, that is Zayed Al Nahyan, Mohammed bin Zayed, and Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia. Disagreements over Houthis and Sudan. Again, you can see here. So there's a cold war brewing between UAE and Saudi Arabia, and we have to be wary of that. We have to keep a tab on that. There are other issues also in West Asia. So new security alignment and all those stuff. We want to maintain good relations with everyone because Gulf region is very critical to us. What is important in this article is focusing on UAE. You see, UAE is made up of 7 emirates. Emirates are basically provinces ruled by a monarch who is known as Emir. 7 emirates. You can see these 7 emirates here: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al, Kuwait, Fuzairah, my Saudi friends, UAE friends, pardon me, Ras Al Khaimah for the phonetics part, joined in 1972. So 7 emirates. 7 emirates, have a look at them: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, this one, Sharjah, Al Rashidiyah, Al Rash Al Khamaya, Fuzairah. Why I'm talking? Where is the seventh one? So Ajman. So yeah. So there are 7 emirates here, and remember these 7 emirates which joined last, because UPSC loves to ask these questions. What is the basic concept of an emirate? It's a province which was ruled by a hereditary monarch which was known as emir or emir. And capital is Abu Dhabi, largest city is Dubai. Remember these facts? They are really important. How important? Really. What is emirate? A territory ruled by a hereditary monarch known as an emir. Emir. PYQ 22, UPSC 2008. Ajman is one of the 7 emirates. Emirates, yes. Ras Al Khaimah was the last Sheikhdom or the emirates to join the UAE. Yes. Both the statements are correct. PYQ it is so. That's why we should be wary of these things. Oh my god. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Spread the word. And again, if I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate at this number. If you want this PDF, you can send me a message at the same number. Next, 33rd news. What's happening in Syria's Kurdish region? So Kurd people, you will find them in West Asia. You see, they want to make their own country, Kurdistan. Kurd people. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on Kurd. Where do you find Kurd people? Not in Nepal. You in this particular region. So the Syrian Kurd people, you see them in north and in east. They helped US in eliminating IS, Islamic State, defeating IS. And they, after what happened when they were helping US, they also around 2012 they also started ruling their areas. They started having their autonomy. When Bashar al-Assad was weak, they created an autonomous region called Rojava. Now what has happened? A new leader has come after Bashar al-Assad failed in 2024. He's known as Ahmad al-Shara. He wants to retain control. He does not want to give so much control to Syrian Kurd. And even Turkey and is supporting the current Syrian government. Why? Because even in Turkey you have these Kurd people, and Turkey feel that all these Kurd people, like there is a saying, "Sab mile hue hain ji," that means everyone is on the one side only. Syrian Kurd help Turkish Kurd and vice versa. So they want to, Turkey also want to weaken these Syrian Kurd. So that is the whole issue which is happening here in this Rojava region. Do you remember Syria? So main Kurdish armed forces known as Syrian Democratic Forces, they were earlier backed by US, played a key role. Now US, that's why we cannot rely on US. US was once a Kurdish ally when Kurdish people were helping them in eliminating Islamic State or defeating Islamic State. But now when this new guy Ahmad al-Shara wants a strong central rule and Kurd do not want to lose autonomy, US is now siding with Syrian government. So you can realize US does not belong to anyone. You cannot trust them. So that fight is happening. Key cities, Kobe, etc. Keep it in mind. It is in Syria. They can ask you these places where they are, places in news, and where Kurd people are there. Kubain, you can see this particular region here at Syria-Turkey border, so to say. So, because places in news are important, Aleppo, Kirkuk, Mosul, why these places were in news? Because of Islamic State and their ruckus in these regions. So, Aleppo is in Syria, Kirkuk, Mosul, it is in Iraq. So, second and third is wrong. Eliminate second and third, you will get the answer B, 1 and 4. So, that's why do remember these places where are Kurd people. Kurd, not in Bangladesh. Madheshis are in Nepal. Udit Narayan is a Madheshi. New leader of Nepal, he is a Madheshi. Rohingyas, they are in Myanmar. So 2 and 3C. So these, questions are important, guys. Turning point for nuclear deterrence. What Priyanjali Malik is talking about here. So here again, they're talking about how Europe is feeling like they cannot rely on Trump, so they are focusing on that. In Europe also, there are certain countries which has nuclear weapon, and maybe like UK, so they can help France, they can help other countries. So that's what this article is talking about. And the world is like, earlier there was a phenomena that yes, we will not use nuclear weapon, and there was a taboo. But currently what is happening, China is increasing warheads, UK is reversing early stockpile reduction plan because of Russia's belligerence, US and Russia may expand arsenals. They had this START treaty, strategic arms reduction treaty. Now this treaty will end START as well as new START. So maybe now they will start doing or start making or expanding their own arsenal. See, we did a wordplay with START here. NATO is basically ineffective right now. So world is going back to Cold War style deterrence and all, expansion of nuclear arsenals. God knows where we are going with this. This whole article brings us to this thing: NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty, signed in 1968 and enforced from 1970. Three pillars: non-proliferation. Countries who do not have nuclear weapons, please don't have it. Countries who have it, please try to reduce it. And if all of us, doesn't matter whether you have nuclear weapons or not, all the countries should use nuclear energy and can access nuclear energy for peaceful purposes, civilian purposes, electricity generation purposes. So three aims. India, we did not sign this treaty. India never signed. Why? Because they created this have and have not. Countries which tested NPT 1968, 1970. These are some important years. Signed in 68, enforced from 70. So they are saying that before 1967, countries which have tested nuclear weapons will recognize them as haves. US, Russia, USSR and UK, France, China, and others are have-nots. So India, Pakistan, Israel never signed. We have. These countries, they have nuclear weapons. Don't tell it to anyone. This is a secret between us. North Korea withdrew. They also have it. That's why US does not dare to do things with North Korea. They can do stuff with Iran. Think, if Iran had nuclear weapons, would US do what they are doing right now? I don't know. We can always debate that. North Korea withdrew in 2003. So New START Treaty. What is this treaty? Bilateral Strategic Nuclear Arm Reduction Treaty between USA and Russian Federation. 26. Which of the following countries are recognized as nuclear weapon states? India is not recognized, guys. So just eliminate second. And yes, China, France, UK, they are recognized. So B is the answer. In the European security debate, extending the nuclear deterrence of France and UK would imply providing nuclear protection to other European states. Now, they cannot rely on US, so maybe the nuclear stockpiles which France and UK have currently, they can use it to give protection to other European states from belligerence of countries like Russia. Myanmar's military scripted pose India's strategic bind. So here this article is talking about Myanmar. Elections happened, which was basically a facade. Before we talk about that, focus on the map, guys. Focus on maps, like Bangladesh, we're talking about, like Assam shares border with Bhutan, shares border with Bangladesh. You see West Bengal shares border with Bhutan, shares border with Nepal, Bangladesh. See, have a look at it. Mizoram shares border with Myanmar, shares border with Bangladesh. Map is very important. Many questions come from map. And now let's have a look at this Myanmar issue. So India is in a fix right now. Our northeastern region, look east, act east policy revolves around Myanmar, Kaladan multi-model project, trilateral highway. So we don't want to support this current military regime, but we also don't want things to, we don't want policy paralysis in northeastern region, so to say. We want connectivity. We want Kaladan multi-model project to go on. We want trilateral highway to go on, right? So we are doing our stuff. We're trying to maintain a balance, just like we are doing stuff in Afghanistan. We don't like the current government in Afghanistan. Talibani people, but we are trying to do whatever we can. We did stuff. You see, Operation Brahma, field hospital during 2025 Myanmar earthquake. Remember this, Operation Brahma. Why Myanmar is important? Shares 1,643-kilometer border with India's northeast. So many stuff which happen in Manipur and Mizoram, some insurgency, this and that. Even in Greater Nagaland, NSC and IM, Khaplang, Myanmar has a role to play in that. So we want a peaceful Myanmar. Refugee border issues, connectivity project. Now let's focus on the things which are important from pre-perspective. Kaladan multi-modal transit project. So currently we are more focused on like Chicken's Neck Siliguri corridor, but that is a very strategic location and we don't want to be dependent on one thing. So we want multi-modal ways, different ways to reach northeast. So this is multi-modal connectivity. From Kaladan to Chitwe, you can see we are doing sea route. From Chitwe to Paletwa, we will take a waterway, river route, and from Paletwa to Aizawl, there will be a roadway. So this is Kaladan multi-modal transit project. There is no railway component here, guys. Connecting northeast Mizoram with Bay of Bengal through named after Kaladan River. So here, when you are seeing, like I will show you, from Sitwe to Paletwa, you have Kaladan River. Sea route Kolkata to Sitwe, Myanmar's Rakhine state, Sitwe to Paletwa via Kaladan River, and from Paletwa to Zorin Pui, Mizoram border by highway. So you have sea route, river route, and road route, alternate route to northeast, reducing dependence on Siliguri corridor, Chipu Chipu corridor. Chipu Chipu Charkha Chale, Kaladan multimodal project, sea route, waterways, road transport, no railways. So the answer is B, 1, 2, and 3. Wow, it rhymed. MCQ 29, Operation Brahma, humanitarian assistance mission by India after a natural disaster in Myanmar, earthquake. PUIQ 30, UPSC 2006, and that's why I was telling you, have a look at the map, guys, and become a Chepu Kumari Sape Bhauri. That means good, awesome guy. First is correct, Assam share border with Bhutan and Bangladesh. Second is correct, West Bengal share border with Bhutan and Nepal. Third is correct, Mizoram share border with Bangladesh and Nepal, Myanmar rather. So the answer is A, 1, 2, and 3, Chepu Kumari Sape Bhauris. Which of the following statement regarding Kaladan project is correct? Provides an alternative route to India's northeast bypassing Siliguri corridor. 36th article, India-Bangladesh have an opportunity to reset ties appeared on 14th February 2026. Election has happened, government has changed, and now things should change for the better, between us and Bangladesh. There are issues. There is an issue of Sheikh Hasina. This Tariq Rahman, he is doing things. He, IPL broadcast was stopped, and now they're talking about broadcasting IPL and all. So things are changing for the better, but there are still issues which are there. Sheikh Hasina issue is a big issue which we have to look into. Then, if we talk about India-Bangladesh relationship in general, land boundary agreement, there are some issues. We shared enclaves and certain enclaves with Bangladesh. They shared some enclaves with us via this land boundary agreement. And then what else? There is a Ganga water treaty which talks about how Ganga water should be shared around Farakka barrage. But Teesta water agreement, that is a major issue, water sharing. Bangladesh is India's largest trading partner in South Asia, keep it in mind. India exports cotton machinery, petroleum products. Bangladesh exports garment, jute products, and fish. So you can see, but there are issues. Ganga water treaty is fine. Teesta water sharing agreement is unresolved. What are the challenges? Political transition is happening. Khalida Jia's son and all, he's ruling now. Na? Khalida Jia, whenever Khalida Jia used to come and rule, we did not have a good relationship, So let's see how things develop during the period of Tariq Rahman sir. But we should try to have at least some amount of, sane relationship with Bangladesh. Tough, easier said than done, because Sheikh Hasina asylum issue will keep propping up in the background, so to say. Managing China's growing influence, border killings, migration issues, all these are some points which we have to think about, talk about, and resolve. Ganga, Teesta, Brahmaputra, which of the above are transboundary rivers between India and Bangladesh? All of them, C, 1, 2, and 3. And again, if you know the name of Ganga and Brahmaputra in Bangladesh, write it, which is known as Jamuna and all, write it in the comment section. MCQ 33. India-Bangladesh trade relation. Bangladesh is India's largest trading partner in South Asia. Really collect. India exports only petroleum products. Wrong. Second is wrong. So now you'll have to check the third one. Bangladesh exports garment to India. Correct. A is the answer. Guys. PYQ 34. Amar Sunar Bangla. Written by Rabindranath Tagore. Amar Sunar Bangla. Which of the following agreements specifically address water sharing between India and Bangladesh? Ganga Water Treaty. Ganga. MCQ 36. Which of the following factors affect India-Bangladesh relation? Illegal migration, yes. Border management, yes. China's growing infrastructure presence, yes. Internal political rhetoric, yes. So all of them. D. 1, 2, 3, and 4. stick together. India and Brazil have realized the importance of their groups. So we have IPSA group, India, Brazil, South Africa. We have BRICS Forum. Lula de Silva, sir, da Silva. He came and now AI Impact Summit he attended, and he's saying that US is imposing tariff here, there, and everywhere. If we are dealing with them in silos, that is not going to help much. We have to deal with US together. So that's what he is saying. So BRICS, IPSA, G4, permanent membership in UNSC, along with Germany and Japan. Biofuel Alliance for alternative energy, where we're talking about how we can use ethanol, etc. India, Brazil, and US. They were a pioneer in G20 meeting, which happened in 2023, where we talked about this biofuel alliance for alternative energy adoption of biofuels. We're good in it. Brazil is good in it. US is good in almost everything. Sadly, I don't like Trump. So Lula message: act collectively against US. Single stick breaks easily, but a bundle is strong, and we have to come together to tackle this great menace called US. Biofuel Alliance, do remember when it was launched, G20 New Delhi Summit 2023, who are the founding members, they can change the names here, so keep those things in mind and become a really good boy or really good girl. G20, how will you remember? First of all, G7 countries, Juice GF. When you people were not born, in our time, there was an actress, Amrita Rao. She used to say to Shahid Kapoor in a movie, Viva, juice PJ, juice PJ, juice lijiye. So juice GF, Japan, this US, I is not India, Italy, Canada, then England, Germany and France. Then BRICS countries, the original BRICS countries, now there is BRICS plus, so you have 12. Then go to each continent. South America, which is one big country, Argentina. North America, which is left, already covered Canada and US. Take the third one also, Mexico. Go to Middle East, which country is influential? Saudi Arabia. In the same region, around the transcontinental region, Turkey is important. Indonesia, largest Southeast Asian economy. South Korea, very advanced, and Australia. So you have 19. 12 is very easy to locate, and then you have European Union, African Union, 21. So these 7, again, South America, which is very large, Argentina. So that way you can eliminate option, because UPSC is already asked questions on G20, guys. So you have to remember it this way. Which of the following forums aim to strengthen global South cooperation? BRICS, IPSA, OECD is like, global North grouping of developed countries. So the answer is A, 1 and 2 only. In which of the following groups are all 4 countries member of G20? A, Argentina, Mexico, South Africa, and Turkey. 2020 UPSC PYQ. In these kind of questions, the mnemonic which I told you, you have to go through it once or twice, and you will thank me later. You'll be like, sir, you're such a good boy. Yes, I am a good boy. Don't objectify me. Which of the following countries were founding members of Global Biofuel Alliance? Not Germany. India, Brazil, US. So you may feel like G4, we are part of G4, so Germany. No. G4 is different. Global Biofuel Alliance is different. They are Chipundis, Chiputilsu Ledu, Kadu. B is the answer, guys. MCQ 40, which of the following countries are member of G4? South Africa is not. India, Brazil, Japan is there. Right? So A, 1, 2, and 3. 40, which of the following countries are member of G20? Singapore is not, so eliminate Singapore. Rest all 3 are there, so C, 1, 2, and 4. So yes, the more questions you solve, the better you will become. Baikonur, gateway to the heavens. So this is a place in Kazakhstan which was used by Russia, for like, this was a spaceport. So currently what is happening, this Baikonur is in Kazakhstan, but Kazakhstan has leased it to Russia because Russia is doing missile test and all. It is the center of Soviet space program. And Russia is trying to develop their own places where they will do these things. But do remember, where is Baikonur? And Russia launched Sputnik 1 from here. Vostok 1 launched Yuri Gagarin, first human in space, located in Kazakh steppe, and it supports Proton and Soyuz rockets, including cargo ships for ISS, International Space Station. Great example of international relation. I think the greatest example of international relation. Europe came, Canada came, Japan came, US came, all these countries came and established this ISS. What can be a bigger example of international cooperation than this? So current situation, there was some catastrophe, something happened on this site 31/6, and Soyuz MS rocket damage site 31-6. And again, we don't have to do PhD on site 31-6. Just remember, where is Baikonur, ISS, International Space Station, which are the countries which are involved. India is not involved in the creation of International Space Station, guys. Baikonur, which country? Kazakhstan. Wow, guys. What is why? Wow. Baikonur Cosmodrome, owned by Kazakhstan, leased to Russia. 42nd question, 43rd. Again, a static question out of nowhere. Barak anti-missile, India has bought from Israel. Whoa, guys, grow up. 44. ISS is a symbol of international cooperation in peace. NASA, Russia, European Space Agency, Japan, Canada, all of them. So yes, both A and R are true. R is the correct explanation. ISS is a joint project of not India, eliminate India. Now you're left with B and C. US, Russia, Europe, Japan, Canada, B. No Brazil is there in ISS. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Spread the word. You are your own competition, not competing with anybody else. Just try to be better than what you were yesterday. Only one part is left of IR now. And that's it from me. If I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate. If you need these PDFs, you can send me a WhatsApp message at this particular number. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye bye. Hello everyone, Chapandi Kumari, Sapve Bharis, Chapandis Chiputil Sulai Dukadu guys. So today is what day? Awesome day. 50 most important current affairs IR part 4. Last part, we will do it today. Tikashe, really good. So let's not waste any time. Let's start the discussion. Everything is fine. Hunky dory, really, really, really good. Chapandi Kumaris, Chapandi, hello, check, hello, check. Oh, voice has exceeded. Oh my god. So let's start. Uh, we have done in the last three parts, we have done up until 38 articles, right? So we have to do 39 to 50 in the in part 4 rather. My name is Shubham Saga. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and become a really good boy or really good girl. This is my Telegram channel. What I do, I do Hindu analysis Monday to Saturday, and I share those Hindu analysis PDF in this Telegram channel. Very good. So you can join it. Now, 39th article, sinking of ship. So Irish Dana. So it was Iranian ship which has come to India. So this particular Iranian warship Iris Dana, it has come to India, and then it was torpedoed by US, which is so sad, because you see this. There is a Kamal Sibbal sir, former secretary or foreign secretary rather. He said that Iranian ship was in the region because India invited it for exercise. So in a way, when US torpedoed it, US in a way, US submarine torpedoed this Iris Dana. In a way, US is indirectly attacking us as well. Again, let's forget about all these things. What is important from UPSC pre-perspective? So Iris Dana, like rescue vessel and all, so many things, like Sri Lanka helped them. What helped them? Many people already died, but yes, our INS Tarangani and INS Ikchak were also involved. Why these INS are important? Because UPSC has already asked questions on INS Astradharani, torpedo launch and recovery vessel. So in that regard, keep in mind this INS Tarangini sail training ship of Indian Navy. So you can see here, naval cadets, they are trained in this particular ship regarding how navigation etc. will be done. And INS Ikchak is a survey vessel to see the sea floor and all, map the sea floor and what minerals they can use, polymetallic nodules etc. Again, INS Tarangini, INS Ikchak, remember, and their utility as well. What is their attribute? So here again, neighboring countries, they are not very sad about it, which bring us, and they're like, India is the net security provider because India does something called as Sagar and Mahasagar, security and growth for all in the region around 2015-16, which became later on Mahasagar. And then we have Indian Ocean Rim Association, which was established in 1990s. Headquarters is in Mauritius. As the name suggests, countries of Indian Ocean, around 20 plus countries. India is the founding member. Colombo Security Conclaves, we have already discussed it in part 3. So you can see, like, India is a net security provider of Indian Ocean, so to say. And in that regard, this thing happening in Indian Ocean is not very good for us. International Fleet Review 2026, this Iris Dana was a part of it. What happens in Fleet Review? It's not like a military drill and all, Navy drill and all. That happens in Milan, Exercise Milan, where they do Navy drills and all. Here, they're just showcasing their capabilities and all. And then there is something called as Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, where these naval officers, they will meet and they will interact with each other, maybe do knowledge sharing and all. So all these things were happening. India hosted all these things, and this Iris Dana was a part of International Fleet Review 2026. Do remember these facts, guys. Indian Ocean Rim Association, Colombo Security Conclave, which we have discussed in the part 3. All these things are really important. So again, different ministers are saying different stuff. You can read it in your free time. Raisina dialogue. There was also a Raisina dialogue, which is named after Raisina Hill in New Delhi. Again, launched in mid 2010s, around 2015, 2016, where again different people come, think tanks, they discuss. That also got affected because of all these ruckus created by US Iran Israel war. So yes, we can call it US Israel versus Iran war. So you can have a look at it. Now, what is important from exam perspective? What can we extract out of this article? This PYQ UPSC 2016 INS Astradharani torpedo launch and recovery vessel. What is the basic meaning? Torpedo. So like you have missiles up above the ground, you have torpedoes which are missiles below the ground, and Sometimes you test your torpedoes whether they're working properly or not, and then you bring that residue back. So that recovery vessel is INS Astradharani, torpedo launch and recovery vessel C. Which of the following best describes a torpedo? Depth-based explosive missile launched on no. So the answer is self-propelled underwater weapon designed to destroy ship or submarines. With reference to Indian Ocean Rim Association aims to protect, promote economic cooperation among Indian Ocean Rim countries. Headquartered is located in Mauritius. I've told you. Membership is not restricted only to South Asian. Indian Ocean is even bordering African countries. And if South Asian countries was only the criteria, why would headquarter be located in Mauritius? So obviously third is wrong, and the answer is C. 1 and 2. Chipandi Kumaris, Sapi Bharis, guys. Now, let's move on to 40th article. Opportunity in Cameroon to rebalance WTO. World Trade Organization in limbo. Their appellate body is not functioning properly. And so many things. They're facing issues of one way, like different types, so to say. So they are meeting in Cameroon, which is in Africa, and this supposed meeting is happening. You see this March 26 to 29, 2026. This article published on 19th March. So here the things which are important is, first, before we talk about this WTO ministerial conference, what is their issue? WTO 1995 established headquarters Geneva, members 166 countries. Then they have something called as, green box, blue box, umber box, agricultural subsidy, which is a bone of contention among developed and developing countries. They set rules, and here, when they set rules, they set rule by consensus. Consensus means all countries have to agree to it, and that's what also leads to issues and delays. And that's why many people are saying that maybe we should go for majority rather than consensus-based system of WTO. Chipandi Kumaris, Sappe Bharis, guys. So resolve trade dispute, reduce trade barrier. You can see all these things. World Trade Organization Agricultural Agreement, Umber Box, trade distorting subsidies, which has to be reduced, price supported sector to farmers. Blue Box, subsidies with some production limits, where you will be getting subsidies up until a certain production, and then the subsidy will reduce or it will be go or gone. Less harmful. Green Box, these subsidies should be provided because it will lead to environmental protection and research support. Remember these terms: Umber Box, Blue Box, Green Box. They are really important. Now let's come back to the article. So opportunity in Cameroon to rebalance the WTO. These two people are talking about it. Ministerial conference. How many years after, like, these ministerial conference, do they happen annually, biennially, or biannually? They're different, guys. Biennial is not equal to biannual. If you know the answer, post it in the comment section. So key question: can WTO adapt fast enough? Why the dispute settlement system is paralyzed? Decision making is slow due to consensus. Every country has to agree. It's not like majority country, if they're agreeing, everything is fine. And then now what is happening? People are disregarding WTO. The US is imposing their own terms. So it's a wrecking ball politics. Power is ruling trade and not rules, and that can especially impact, poorer and least developed countries and smaller countries more. So we need WTO to function properly so that these, big hegemonistic countries like means USA rather, they don't call the shots. WTO must ensure predictability and fairness, agriculture. So you can read all these things. So what is the issue here? Critical turning point: reform WTO. Update rules, ensure that their appellate body is working properly, and maybe move from consensus to majority-based resolutions, or let it drift. WTO, you can read all these things in your free time. So yeah, there are issues: agriculture subsidy, unequal trade openness. Developed countries, they want developing countries to open certain sectors for them. We are not very, like India New Zealand FTA was going on recently, where New Zealand wanted India to open their dairy sector, but we did not allow it because our farmers are very, very vulnerable in that regard, and New Zealand is one of the best countries when it comes to dairy export. So yeah, WTO, and their agricultural agreement, have a look at it. With reference to WTO, established in 95, enforces global trade rules to dispute settlement. It operates on majority voting, no consensus, not majority. All of them have to agree, and that's what lead to delay. So the answer is Chepu Kumaris. That means A, 1 and 2 only. PYQ5 UPSC 2010. Oh my god. Now you have to use your static knowledge here. So WTO, they collaborate with somebody to set international food standards, and that is known as Codex Alimentarius Commission. They, set up and they collaborate with them as regards as reference points. Which one of the following does WTO collaborate? Codex Alimentarius Commission. They collaborate with them. Food. So yeah, WTO, Codex. Again, this is a static question. You should know about these questions, and so many questions have been asked by UPSC related to WTO. Umber box, blue box, green box related to WTO affairs. And remember the difference between them, as we have just discussed. Which of the following best describes green box subsidy? Subsidies with minimal trade distortion, which are generally allowed. Which of the following is a major reason for current crisis in WTO? Paralysis of dispute settlement system. 41th article, lessons from Hungary vote and Orban's defeat. Hungary. So in Hungary there was a right-wing leader and his name was this guy, and this guy has been defeated now. So Viktor Orban, after 16 years, illiberal democracy was like, before we talk about all these things, Hungary, Budapest, bordering Ukraine, Romania, Serbia. Have a look at this because Hungary has been asked, and it's bordering Ukraine, so it's in news also. Slovenia, Austria, Slovakia. You can see the countries which are bordering it. And this leader, he was very pro-Russia, pro-China, and illiberal democracy was practiced in Hungary. So what is illiberal democracy? Where elections will happen, but real democratic values are weakened. Maybe some names are getting deleted. Maybe you feel like their election commission is compromised. They don't say anything to their supreme leader if he goes and do man ki baat or nation, means speak to the nation and violate model code of conduct by targeting opposition leaders again. So no, I'm not naming other country. So now this defeat of Viktor Orban is like, it shows a message that no, democracy has not died. Many people feel like democracy is declining globally. No, we have the most democratic leader of all, Modi sir. Oh my god. So Hungarians voted against majoritarianism, and that gives us hope that yes, in other countries of the world also, if there are such leaders who are practicing illiberal democracy, so again, this shows that yes, democracy is here to stay. People still value democratic change over authoritarian stability. So fingers crossed. Viktor Orban. What is important here? Hungary. He looks like a good boy. He's a Golu Polu Molu Chulu, guys. What is Golu Polu Molu Chulu? He's a cutie pie. More handsome. Nobody can be more handsome than Modi sir. Modi sir is the most handsome guy. So yeah, PYQ9 UPSC 2018. Crimea annexation. That is not in Hungary. Hungary is in news. That is in Ukraine, which was annexed by Russia. So second is wrong. Now you're left with B and C. So Catalonia was in space in Spain. Oh, 2018 there was a referendum in Catalonia whether you want to be a part of Spain or you want to be independent, and they said that we want to be part of Spain. So first is correct, C. 1 and 3. Mindanao is in Philippines. So those places were asked because they were in news. Similarly, Hungary is right now in news. So you have to see the neighboring countries. They are Vladimir Putin. Guys, grow up. MCQ 10. Which of the following countries share a border with Hungary? Austria, Slovakia, Romania. Yes, Germany is very far away. So the answer is C. 1, 2 and 3. You can go back and look at the map. Next article, 42nd, climate risk must prompt international legal reform. So now this is a very technical article which talks about so many technical things which we could have kept it in environment also, but environment is already done, right? Right. Chepu Kumaris, Chepandispe Paris. So here they're talking about climate change. So many islands will get submerged. Then what will happen to their nationhood? This coastal zone, exclusive economic zone, many areas are getting submerged. So these demarcation lines regarding exclusive zone or exclusive economic zone, should it change or not? So there are so many questions which we have to answer. So first thing, permanent sovereignty over natural resource. What does it mean? It gives right to states to control and exploit the natural resource. But now developed countries, they are being forced, they're forcing developing countries that no, you keep a tab on how much coal you're using, this and that, because of global warming issue. So PSNR is also in threat right now. Territory as a requirement for statehood. There are many Pacific nations which are getting submerged. So if they lose their territory, will they remain a nation? Maritime zone and sea boundaries. As more and more lands will get submerged, these exclusive economic zone, contiguous zone, all these things will change, right? So how you will demarcate them? Should you maintain the status quo or do you change these lines as well as submergence happen? So there are so many concerns which are there. In that regard, there is a convention which is known as Montevideo Convention. Montevideo, if I'm not wrong, it is the capital of Uruguay. Where is Uruguay? In which continent? If you know it, Chepandikumari. Chepandikumari means, you can write it in the comment section. Four criteria if you want to be called a state. Here, state means nation. You should have territory, permanent population, government, capacity to conduct foreign relation. But let's say if you don't have territories and your territories is submerged, then what will happen, guys? Sea level rise problem, rising sea level threatens small island states. So legal view, International Court of Justice says that no, if you lose one element out of these four, it doesn't mean you will lose statehood. So James, no rules specify minimum territory size for statehood. So even if my territory is very small, but I still have some population, some government, or capacity to conduct foreign relation, I'm still a state. So UNFCCC, they can develop equitable solution beyond strict rules regarding how statehood would be defined later on. Climate change induced migration. The other issue is we talk about refugees based on race, religion, nationality, but there is no concept of climate refugee. And again, there has to be some criteria where we are including climate refugee also under 1951 refugee convention. So you can see different kind of issues which are emerging because of climate change and all. Do remember Montevideo convention? They can ask you. They can even ask you in places in news, where is Montevideo? Uruguay, Paraguay, Chiriguay, Tigutugu, guys. Impact on maritime zones. You can see all these things. Sea levels may rise, affect coastal baseline. So these things can change. Territorial sea, contiguous zone, exclusive economic zone, and continental shelf. Oh my God. So you see these areas. Territorial sea, 12 nautical miles. 1 nm is equal to around 1.8 kilometers. And here on territorial sea, or you have full sovereignty. A country has full sovereignty. Contiguous zone, not full sovereignty, but you can impose your taxation, etc., rules and regulation. EEZ, exclusive economic zone. Here different countries can pass through them, but you can use their polymetallic nodules and resources. Continental shelf up to 350 nautical miles. It varies from, there is no fixed definition as such. And seabed resources you can take. So these areas will also vary as more and more lands get submerged. So how will you tackle them? How will coastal baselines will be defined? How will territorial region or contiguous region will be defined? So there are two approaches. Either you fix the baselines, you fix baseline even if it gets submerged. The other is ambulatory baseline. You change it under UN Convention on Laws of the Sea. Baseline may shift later on according to changing coastline as land gets submerged or emerged. Even in geography, you read about submergent landform, emergent landform, and all those stuff. So you can see how many unprecedented challenges climate change is bringing in that regard. Let's see some questions so that you can understand what they can ask you from this particular article. Again, a very technical article, you have to revise it. And remember the demarcations also of this territorial, contiguous, exclusive economic zone, continental shelf. Criteria for statehood under Montevideo Convention is permanent population, yes. Defined territory, yes. Government, yes. Membership in UN, no. So the answer is Chepukumaris, no. B1 and 2 and 3. No more Chepukumaris. Under UN clause, 200 nautical miles, exclusive economic zone. Guys, which of the following regarding climate refugees is correct? International law currently lacks a clear legal definition for them. See, which of the following best describes an ambulatory baseline? Baseline that shift with changes in coastline. Guys, grow up. 43rd article, oil prices reflect geopolitical risk, not only supply. So Pankaj, who is a really good boy, so how good boy? Really good boy. So he is talking about, again, US, Israel, Iran, and all these war, how Strait of Hormuz, etc., is impacted. In fact, I was reading it somewhere. People are so frustrated and so fed up of this Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz. Every day they're reading about it. Why I have included this article? So that I can tell you Chepukumaris, no, so that I can tell you about something like the basic difference between Strait of Hormuz and Bab al Manda. Don't get confused between them. So again, Pankaj, who is a former additional director, but again you can read all this. Who is Pankaj? So Pankaj is saying that oil is used as a geopolitical tool. Russia and all, like we have seen, we know prices are rising. India is so dependent on them. We have to diversify oil sources. We are moving from LPG to PNG to this and that G. But this is not why we have included this article. We have included this so that we can understand the difference between Strait of Hormuz and Bab al Manda. You people are very small. When you will be 18 plus and prepare for UPSC, you will realize many people get confused between Bab al Manda and Strait of Hormuz. Bab al Manda near Africa, and it connects Red Sea with Gulf of Aden. Gulf of Aden. So even they can give you that Gulf of Aden is a part of Arabian Sea, so it connects Red Sea with Arabian Sea. That will be also collect. So this is Bab al Manda. Whoa, guys, grow up. And then you have Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz connects Persian Gulf with Arabian Sea or Gulf of Oman. Here there is Oman, Gulf of Oman. So remember these facts and figures. Do remember Hormuz, Persian Gulf, and Bab al Manda, Red Sea. Red Sea. And Strait of Hormuz is one of the most critical oil choke point. Almost 20% of oil trade, etc., happens. What one of the most? It is the most important oil choke point, so to say. So yeah, and this is the key difference which you have to understand, and then you can see oil flow 10% of global seaborne oil, Bab al Mandab, 20% of global oil supply, Strait of Hormuz, exit point for Gulf oil export, and that's why it is the most critical oil choke point, Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has choked. So yeah, difference between them, really important. Bab al Mandab Strait connects what? Red Sea with Gulf of Aden. Consider the following statement regarding Strait of Hormuz. Connects Persian Gulf with Arabian Sea. Correct. Around one-fifth of global oil consumption passes through it. Correct. Lies between Iran and Oman. Really correct. So the answer is D, 1, 2, and 3. Guys, grow up. 44th article, 27th March 2026, UK slams Iran's missile attack at Diego Garcia base. Diego Garcia, part of Chagos archipelago. You can see here Diego Garcia, and here US UK combined bases there. So from Iran, around 4,000 kilometers, they fired it. From Indian South India, it is around 1,800 kilometers away. But the war has come to Indian Ocean, and this should worry us, Although Modi sir is Vishwaguru, but God knows what is happening. Why nobody is listening to Vishwaguru? Guys, let's not say anything bad about Modi, so I will kill you all. So again, UK is very angry about it. They're like, we are not directly a part of it, but then you are allowing US to use your, bases and all, military bases and all. So in a way, tactically, indirectly, you are supporting US. And even though this missile attack by Iran failed, it shows the capability of Iran missiles that they can reach up until what point. So yeah, again, what else is important? This Chagos archipelago. It's a bone of contention between UK and Mauritius. It was earlier part of Mauritius. UK captured it. Even International Court of Justice in 2019, they said to UK that you return it back. UK wanted to return it back. Now Trump is saying, please don't do that. We have a military base in Diego Garcia. So let's see how things pan out in future. So Iran fired missiles at UK US air base in Diego Garcia, Chipu Kumaris. UK not directly involved, but it has allowed US forces to use its bases, and that's why you can understand why Iran is not very happy. Iran targeted Diego Garcia. Again, you can read all these things. We have talked about the basic rationale of this article. What is important is, where is Chago archipelago, which two countries are fighting over it, what is Diego Garcia's importance, where is it located, all these things are really important. Diego Garcia, part of Chagos archipelago, very correct. Located in Pacific Ocean, wrong. Indian Ocean, so second is wrong. If you know second is wrong, you don't need to know anything. A is the answer. Chagos archipelago dispute is primarily between UK and Mauritius. B. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. If I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate at this number. And if you want this PDF, you can send me a message at the same number. Next article, 45th, 4th April 2026, a year after tension over Operation Sindoor. So India and Azerbaijan and Armenia, they fight. So you see Azerbaijan here. Baku is the capital. They border Caspian Sea. Find out all the countries bordering Caspian Sea, all the countries bordering Black Sea. All these are important. So Azerbaijan and Armenia, Yerevan is the capital. They are fighting over a region which is known as Nagorno-Karabakh. It is said that India supports Armenia, Pakistan supports Azerbaijan, and these things, like the issue escalated more when during Operation Sindoor, Azerbaijan criticized India's activities and all. So year after tension, but now they're trying to reset ties, India and Azerbaijan. Why? Because Azerbaijan exports crude oil, 98% of exports to India, and we need crude oil because of the tension in West Asia and all. So now you see, that's why there was so many other articles which were published which said that India should not be so sensitive when it comes to foreign relation, because we don't know when we need anybody. So Azerbaijan close ties with Pakistan, India's relation with Armenia, and now we are having talks to resolve our differences. ONGC Videsh has investment in Azerbaijan's oil and gas sector. So you can understand, we are having talks with them after a period of strained relations. What is important here is, keep in mind Azerbaijan, Armenia, where they are, which region they are fighting, because Nagorno-Karabakh already has Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, Ukraine war. So all those things are important. There is North Kivu and all, which is located in Congo. It shows in news. So these places, they become important. Nagorno-Karabakh. PYQ 19 UPSC 2023. Nagorno-Karabakh not in Mozambique, Armenia, Azerbaijan. Kherson and Zaporizhia, we have discussed this earlier also, Ukraine. So second, third wrong. North Kivu Ituri, it is in Congo if I'm not wrong. So first is also wrong and the answer is D, none. 46th article, bolstering deterrence to submarine dominance. Harshavi Pant Sayantan. Sayantan. So here they are talking about SSN and SSBN. So we need to know about these things, because these things are Chepu Kumaris and Chepanese Pibharis, guys. Grow up. So what we are doing, we are commissioning our third SSN, or SSBN rather. So what is SSBN and what is the difference between SSBN and SSN? So SSBN is, you can see here, nuclear powered ballistic submarine, and then you have something called as nuclear attack submarines. So ballistic submarines, what is the difference between SSBN and SSN? So SSBN, it's for deterrence, guys. What is the meaning of deterrence here? So like, how can I tell you? Like, deterrence means we will not be attacking first, but if you attack us, we will attack you then. So here in SSBN, we carry ballistic missiles. Ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, I think we may have discussed it in science and tech also, and maybe we'll discuss it today also. So ballistic missiles, which follow a projectile path, you don't uh, guide their trajectory, like, they're guided by gravity mostly. Cruise missile, ballistic missile, you have Agni, they can be carried by SSBN. On the other hand, SSN, which will be commissioning in 2036, first one, it can carry cruise missiles like BrahMos, which we can control. So you can see here, SSBN for deterrence, SSN for first attack. Maybe you can think of like SSN like Sehwag, nuclear attack submarine, and SSBN like Dravid. We will not attack first, but if you attack us, we'll defend ourselves and then we'll attack you. And SSBN ballistic missiles, SSN cruise missiles. So INS Aridhaman, our third SSBN. Earlier was INS Arihant, first one, second INS Arighat, and the third one is INS Aridhaman. And in like there will be one more SSBN, and after that we will be shifting our focus to SSM, first indigenous nuclear. And indigenous means completely everything will be built in India. Atmanirbhar Bharat. Second SSN by 2038. Wah, wah, wah. This is important, guys. Submarine program and all is important because China is growing like at a very fast pace. Nuclear triad, ability to launch nuclear weapons from land, air, and sea. And this SSBN and SSN is strengthening our sea-based nuclear capability. And it is important because China, Pakistan, Arabian Sea and all, we have to keep a constant vigil on our Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Arabian Sea, Pakistan, Bay of Bengal, China. China is, making or influencing Myanmar, they are influencing Bangladesh and all. Sri Lanka, Hambantota. So yeah, sea-based nuclear capability is very important in guys. So which of the following best describes the primary role of nuclear powered ballistic missile submarine SSB and strategic nuclear deterrence? Which of the following correctly differentiate between SSBN and SSN? SSBN carries ballistic missile, SSN carries torpedoes or cruise missile. 47th article, 10th March 2026, probe suggests US struck Iran school killing over 160 people. So here again, all these news are interconnected, guys. We have discussed ballistic missiles and all. So here Iran, like US, they have used Tomahawk cruise missile. Already THAAD, anti-missile system, UPSC has asked questions. They can ask you, Tomahawk is a ballistic missile? No, it's a cruise missile. What is the basic difference between ballistic and cruise missile? As I've told you, PYQs have been asked. So ballistic missile, they follow a projectile path, you know, they follow projectile path, and you cannot control them all through the flight. Rockets in boost phase only, jet, ramjet throughout. What is the simple meaning of it? The simple meaning is ballistic missile, you can control it in the initial phase, and then after that it will be guided by gravity and all. So because it follow a particular projectile path and all, it can go very high in space. On the other hand, cruise missile, you control it, it flows somewhat lower because you are controlling it, you don't want it to go higher so that you lose control. It flows at somewhat lesser speed than ballistic missile, supersonic and hypersonic, which is mainly guided by gravity. Subsonic less than 1 Mach. 1 Mach is the speed of sound. Supersonic greater than 1 Mach. Hypersonic greater than 5 Mach. Remember these words, they are really important. So as we have discussed, cruise missile guided entire flight, ballistic missile mostly guided mid-course, and they have a higher R. So, and this Tomahawk is a cruise missile which has killed 160 people, more than 165 people. They have struck a school, which is so sad. Maybe they wanted to strike this base of Iran's IRGC, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, but they attacked school. And it is violation of international law, but who cares? Who is going to, ring a bell around a cat's neck? And that cat is US, so to say. So yeah, let's see what happens. What is important? Do remember, Tomahawk is a cruise missile. Basic difference between ballistic and cruise missile, so that you can solve these kind of questions. Ballistic missiles are jet propelled at subsonic speed throughout their flights. Cruise missiles are rocket powered only in the initial phase. No, the simple meaning here is they are saying that ballistic missiles are controlled throughout their flight. No, cruise missiles are. This is the opposite actually. Cruise missiles are controlled. Agni is a supersonic cruise missile. No, Agni is a ballistic. Both the statements are wrong, and the answer is D. Neither one nor two. Which of the following correctly distinguish between cruise and ballistic missiles? Cruise missiles are guided throughout most of their flight. 48th article, missile interceptors in US Iran war. Again, a technical article. You can see a correlation. What we have done, we have clubbed similar articles together so that when you revise stuff, you can revise stuff in a much easier manner. You don't have to stress on your mind much. Chepu Kumaris, Chepandis Pibhadi. So here they're talking about, like Iran, they sent lots of ballistic missiles during the first war. Like there was a 12-day war which happened in 2025. So now interceptor is what? They are anti-missile system which will, a missile is incoming, they will destroy those missiles. So now US is focusing, and US led coalition, Israel and UAE, they are focusing on how they can make their interceptor system more and more like better. And it will be saturated also, because let's say Iran is launching 500 ballistic missile, 1000 suicide drones, your interceptor will be destroying them. It's not like these interceptors, they have the they are also launching missiles to destroy the incoming missiles. They don't have unlimited supply of these interceptors. They will also get saturated. There are saturation attacks also, that they will launch so many missiles that your interceptor will stop functioning properly. So this is what this whole thing is all about. Missile defense system, detect incoming missiles, track speed, use interceptors to destroy threats mid-flight. And again, here they are talking about how interceptor system works. Radar, scans, skies, radar locks onto target, command station launch, interceptors, ground radar guides interceptors mid-flight. And then there is something called as onboard seeker. Onboard seeker is, is around the nose of the interceptor, which will tell them where to hit, directs final approach and target destroy. Iron Dome is the interceptor of Israel. 80 to 90% successful versus slow rockets. You can see here, not 100% success. Patriot system is the anti-missile system of US. 100% success versus hypersonic Kinzhal. What is a Kinzhal? Russia's missile, hypersonic, greater than 5 Mach. 60% versus Iskander ballistic missiles. So you can see here, even US Patriot interceptor system is not fully equipped, and effectiveness dropped 10% after Russia used decoy and saturation attacks. So these are some technical words, guys. What is decoy? What is saturation attack? I've already told you. Saturation means I will launch thousands of missiles. How many? At least one or two will lie. Your interceptor cannot tackle all of them. Decoys means sometimes I will launch missiles at false targets, and then I will launch some at the real targets to confuse you. All these things they are doing, and then effectiveness drops to almost 1/10. UAE is using Chonggung system, which they have taken from South Korea. Cost and rationing of interceptors. This Patriot PSC-3 interceptor is very expensive. Iran is using saturation attacks, sending so many ballistic missiles, so they will exhaust the defense system. And then third, anti-missile system, UPSC has already asked. So you can see here, these it's not like these wars, if they go on and on and on, US and Israel, they have a sure shot chance of winning. No, their interceptors can get exhausted as well. If Iran keeps on doing this saturation attack, so to say. Hope you're understanding. And then Iran system, Arman, Sevam, Sayyad 3, just keep it in mind. They can ask you associated with which particular country. But what is more important? This THAAD system, this Patriot system. THAAD, what it is, America's anti-missile system. Similarly, they can ask you about Patriot now. 2018, they asked it. See, anti-missile system, they will attack the incoming missiles. They will destroy it. Hypersonics, ever Mach 5. You can see the previous articles, they are interlinked. Saturation attack, launching multiple missiles simultaneously to overwhelm defenses. Whenever you see a question, pause me and then try to solve it. Missile defense system, and onboard seeker is used to detect and guide interceptor towards the target in final phase. Decoys can confuse radar tracking system. Interceptors are unlimited in number. No, they are not unlimited. They are, you know, they can get exhausted. That's what we were discussing. So second is wrong. Now you'll have to say A and C. Check the third one. Missile defense effectiveness can decline during mass attack. Yes, C. Shepu Kumaris. Shepu Tipu. 49th article. Lebanon yearns for peace and deliverance. Mahesh Sajdev. UPSC has asked PYQs on Lebanon. Shepu Kumaris. Mediterranean region is anyway very important, guys. So what is Mahesh Sajdev sir talking about in this article published on 24th April? So first of all, you have to have a look at the map. Chipandukumaris, Bibhori. So Lebanon bordering Mediterranean Sea, yes. Jordan, no. So remember, Iraq, no, it does not border Mediterranean Sea. Syria does border. Lebanon borders Syria as well as Israel. So Lebanon, from 1950s onwards, Lebanon has been used as a proxy to fight against Israel, like earlier Palestinian Yasser Arafat and all. They made Lebanon their base, and then Iran, they started supporting the Shia people in Lebanon, thereby creating Hezbollah, which became a part of Iran's axis of resistance. Axis of resistance means although Iran may not be that powerful militarily, but they have proxies, they have influences in Lebanon, Hezbollah, in your Yemen, they have Hamas. So they have in Israel and in Gaza, they have, I'm saying in Yemen, they have Houthis, in Israel, Gaza, they have Hamas. So these are part of Iran's sphere of influence, axis of resistance. And when US, Israel, they attacked Iran, Hezbollah, they attacked Israel. So Israel, you can see here, different groups. Lebanon has a history of conflict with Israel. Different groups like Palestinian Liberal Organization, Yasser Arafat, later Hezbollah used. We'll talk about all these things. Let me first of all show you the history only, and then we'll talk about the core article. Historical background: 48, Lebanon has been used as a base for anti-Israel activities. PLO, Palestinian Liberal Organization, Yasser Arafat. Civil war happened there because it's not like only Shia population is there in Lebanon. There is a significant Christian population there. So because of that, a civil war, internal war happened in Lebanon. Slowly and gradually, Hezbollah, which is a Shia organization, they're losing their influence in Lebanon. So Hezbollah evolved into powerful militia with the support of Iran, and they mobilized Lebanon's Shia population. Key milestone: forced Israel out of South Lebanon, fought Israel. And because of this, all these things, Lebanon is suffering, man. Suffering so much, so to say, you know and recent conflict, you can see how many people have died. 35% of Lebanese population will be below poverty line by 2026. So sad. So now let's see what their article is saying. Same thing: Israel weakened Hezbollah by killing leaders. Hezbollah also lost political support inside Lebanon. So things are happening, are not looking good for Hezbollah, so to say, in Lebanon. 2026, after US and Israel attacked Iran and killed Khamenei, supreme leader, Hezbollah attacked Israel. Israel responded with heavy strike, and now they want to disarm Hezbollah. Obviously, Hezbollah will not like it. So Lebanon is fearing another civil war. People who are not liking Hezbollah, they will fight against Hezbollah. Hezbollah will fight against them. Hezbollah will also fight against Israel. And in that, who will be the one who will be pissing and pissing and pissing? Means facing the severe brunt of all these things? Lebanon. So Lebanon is stuck between internal division. Although I have seen in, when you see reels and all, you will see people saying so many good things about Lebanon. Such a great country it is, but it is sandwiched between all the things which are happening in West Asia. So Mediterranean Sea is border of which of the following countries? Lebanon, yes. Iraq, no. Jordan, no. Lebanon, Syria. Chepu Kumaris, that is Siva, guys. Which of the following countries share border with both Israel and Lebanon? Syria. Next article. 50th. UAE announced exit from OPEC Group, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, established in 1960, headquartered in Vienna. Earlier there were around 12 countries. Now after UAE exit, it will be 11. Even before, earlier there were so many more countries also, guys. Current OPEC members, you have 12, but after UAE, you will have 11 now. You can see all these countries. And main objective, we should not be like these countries, they should not be producing too much oil. Then the prices will be low. And UAE was not liking it because UAE believe in a concept called as peak oil. They believe that there will be a time very soon in future when the oil demand will decrease because transition towards renewable energy, this and that, and they want to sell maximum oil before that period arrives. And they are not liking the too much hegemony of Saudi Arabia and OPEC, and that's why they are leaving. Then there's something called as OPEC Plus, which was established in 2016, which contains countries like Russia and all. Russia is there, and then Kazakhstan is there. So OPEC Plus, larger alliance. Key membership, even earlier there were Angola, Qatar, Ecuador. Ecuador is in South America, Indonesia and all. So slowly and gradually they all left. Maybe many of them did not like Saudi Arabia's hegemony. So UAE want to produce more, and this will be good for India because OPEC they produce less and the prices remain high. If UAE they come out of OPEC and they produce more, we already have good relations with UAE, so oil will be cheaper. But how does it matter? Even if oil is cheaper, government will take the taxes, and price will remain the same. I have told you that news, right? That Nepal and Bhutan, etc., they buy oil from India, and in their country, because they tax less, the oil is cheaper. In India, it is higher, it's more expensive because our leaders they have to go to different countries of the world. Money is needed, man. So how? You people don't think about our leaders. They have so less salary and all, 2.53 lakhs per month, apart from all the benefits they get. How will they manage things? So poor they are. So yeah, have a look at these things. PYQ 31, other than Venezuela, which one among the following from South America as a member of OPEC? It was at that time in 2009, C was the answer. Now, none. Now, none of them is the member. Cheapu Kumaris, guys, grow up. Which of the following countries has recently announced to exit from both organization of OPEC and OPEC Plus? That is UAE. Which of the following is not a member of OPEC? Russia. Russia is a part of OPEC Plus. Which one of the following best explains the importance of OPEC Plus? Increases cooperation among major oil producers to influence global oil supply and prices. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Spread the word. You are your own competition, not competing with anybody else. Keep that in mind and just try to be better than what you were yesterday. If I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate at this number. And if you need this PDF, you can send me a message at the same number. That's it from me. Take care. Be blessed. All the best for UPSC Prelims 2026. Kill it and make me proud.